Aha! Welcome to the Tuesday show. My name's Ultra David.
It's technically a Thursday, but you know, I was traveling on Tuesday, so
as we'll get to.
Chen. Yeah, I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
First of all, let me explain what's going on with these guys.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering about that.
You did not. I thought for sure you would ask.
I just saw it and I was like, well, you know, the mutton chops are coming back or something.
They're back. My wife does not like mustaches, okay? She doesn't like basically
facial hair.
Body hair.
Oh, well, okay,
as a general rule.
Yeah, she's in the wrong. She's with the wrong person.
I made her aware of that as soon as we started dating, and she was just like, she accepted it. So anyway, I had this beard, and she got sick of it. She was like, I hate that you have a mustache right now. It always like prickles her nose, I guess. So I ingeniously thought to myself, okay, I'll get rid of the mustache. But so I just promised her. I was like, sure, I'll get rid of the mustache, absolutely. And she was like, do you promise? I was like, absolutely. And she was like, tonight? And I was like, of course. And she was like, am I getting lawyered here?
That's a great question to ask, actually. I applaud her for actually asking.
Oh, yeah, she's aware. So anyway, just before I went to bed, I did this to myself, which, by the way, was my look between the ages of 15 and 21. It was a 6.5-year project where I had these guys going. And so I came to bed. And I went to kiss her, and guess what? It's completely shorn. All she did was feel this, and she was very happy. And meanwhile, my eyes are like, just sparkling. I'm like so happy that it's working out. And then in the morning, she thinks nothing the wiser, right? All of a sudden the sun's out now. She can see when she's getting up for work. And she saw the full thing. She woke me up to be pissed. Oh, man. So obviously look, you can only be so pissed about a practical joke like that.
But it's not a practical joke because you're going to keep it, right?
That's true. I'm actually wearing it. So I've decided that I'm going to wear it for this weekend when we go to DreamHack Montreal, but I'm going to get rid of it ASAP after that.
Okay.
I'm already tired of it. I had to go to the mall today to do some errands, and there were one of two responses in general. One,
as they walk past you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then also, the guy who I was dealing with on one of my little errands there, he looked at me when we started talking, and then that was it. And then he did like these things, right? Like, okay, sir, like, can I handle this for you?
He was trying not to look at you.
What do you think about this? And he's like, he would not look at me. Oh man, it was great. Yeah, I had this all throughout college. It was only my senior year that I finally got rid of it. Yeah. College was weird, though,
I mean, it's
Girls
a time
were willing
where
to put up with it,
you don't shave your mutton chops, you don't shower for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I did shower, though. I did shower. So
now you did. Well, not back in college.
Not yesterday. I mean, not today.
Not back in college.
No, that is correct. Yeah, I had this. I had hair down to here. And I didn't shower regularly.
For 2 weeks. So
one time at the maximum was 2 weeks, but typically I would say it was like 3-4 days. Yeah, I mean, it's to an extent a practical joke on myself, but it was hilarious. I did the best like Ren evil laugh when she figured it out. At the end of the space episode.
Yeah, that thing, yeah.
Anyway. So I'll get rid of it soon, but that's the news for now. So I just figured, well, since I'm putting that on, I'll just put on an old shirt that I used to wear a lot back in the day as well. It's that I no longer love, but I figured I'd just, complete the ensemble. Anyway, let's talk about First Attack. We're going to talk about other events as well. Summer Jam, Ultimate Fighting Arena, the Final Fighters China. And we're going to talk about 5-5 matchup in which we discuss stick security at tournaments. Stop staring at my facial hair, everybody.
I can't stop. I can't stop.
Patch notes for both Tekken and BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle and assorted other stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
He's doing it right now. I can feel it.
I'm also just a little salty because I came from some Tekken 7 online, which I didn't play any online.
Yeah.
Because I literally fought against a Noctis, which I've never fought against before.
Yeah.
I fought against an Anna, which I've never fought against before.
How could you have?
And then I fought against an Eddie, and I have no idea what's happening with Eddie. And so I got mad, and everyone was like, why don't you go lab the character? Because I was like, because if I lab the character, I won't be playing any more fighting games online. Right? I actually won't be playing anymore, even though I have 2 hours before the Tuesday show.
All right.
Because that's what it's like, labbing characters. And sure enough, for like an hour and a half, I was labbing Eddie, and I figured out how to deal with like 3 sets of moves, and that was about it.
You know, starting on the process, right?
Yeah, but that's like out of what, like 15 sets of moves that he has.
I'm just saying, you know, just
on top of the fact that that's one out of. I don't know how people learn this game, dude. You
are learning it.
I honestly don't know how people learn Tekken 7, dude.
You're doing it. That's the process.
It's weird because like I don't feel like the hardest part about it is you just don't feel like you're getting any better for the longest of time. Longest of time, man.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, Tekken people I know say that you play for years and years before you
right,
get
and that's where a lot of people have the advantage is they do have legacy stuff as well. So,
but when Tekken 9 comes out, you'll be like, all these kids still trying to learn Tekken 9. I got it.
I mean, it's interesting because Harada has mentioned that he thinks that this is going to be last of the Mishima saga, and that Tekken 8 was supposed to, like, he was thinking about doing like a kind of a reboot on it, kind of thing like that. And I mean, honestly, maybe it's the right time to do it, right?
Okay.
But it's interesting because everybody, and it's weird because I know a lot of people are getting into Tekken 7. So do they just not care as much, or are they dying?
Yeah.
Are they just dying really badly too? And I'm too hard on myself on this.
Yeah,
I mean,
that probably is it.
I feel like I'm not learning anything. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've gotten so good at my fundamentals, and like I know like a lot of things of what I want to do, but I can't do any of it because I don't know what the opposing character is doing. Right. So,
well, you know what you did commentary for it was First Attack in Puerto Rico.
I never did any commentary for Tekken. No, because I was there to do top 4, and they're like, don't worry, we're just going to do grand finals. It's like, okay, all right. Sat there, like, we're not streaming Tekken anymore.
All right, this is not the best segue after all. But hey, we were in San Juan, Puerto Rico for First Attack over the weekend. Happy to be back there. Of course, last year was a terrible year for Puerto Rico. As everybody knows. Horrible situation with the hurricanes and the response afterward and the lack of response, really. When we were there last year in 2017, as we were leaving, the first of the 2 hurricanes was on its way. Literally, as we're being dropped off at the airport, the guy was like, well, I got to go home and board up his house. He's literally going to go home and do it right then. So it's been a year. Before we get into the tournament itself, just wanted to talk about that side of things. And first, on the one hand, without being too negative about it, everybody seems very resilient. You know, the areas that we were in were mostly rebuilt. There's obviously still some signs, paint missing on walls. It's not nothing, but there's a lot of work that's been redone, obviously. And the people are still there, and I'm sure it was very hard. Yeah, of course, but definitely trying.
I mean, the thing about it is, like, the area that we were in was obviously the touristy, the high commercial area. So that obviously had the focus. I mean, as I was driving from the airport to our hotel when I first arrived there, Francisco, who picked me up, was just like, yeah, all of this was 6 feet underwater. Like this freeway that we're driving on, 6 feet underwater. You know, everything was underwater. Yeah. You know, and the crazy thing about it is I talked to a lot of people, and, you know, I mean, they did a great job helping each other. There's a lot of great stories of, like, I mean, this is obviously not the good part, but like elderly people trapped in their houses by mud, but then other people would like have buckets and they would like lift things down, and like, you know, they would, I mean, one of the guys there was like, yeah, I was one of the only people with clean water. Right. And I was just like, oh, hey neighbor, you want water? Here's water. Right. And like other people like, you need gas? They said the very first day that the hurricane stopped, so a guy with a pickup truck drove to every house and said, do you have an axe or a chainsaw? And I have an axe. And they just gathered everybody with that kind of stuff, and they went through every road and they chopped down every tree that had fallen on the roads and stuff like that. So they did there's a lot of great stories like that, you know, but obviously there's a lot of the negatives peppered around there as well.
Crazy. Like, just so the last night that we were there, we had dinner at a restaurant in Old San Juan. which still had a leak in the roof from the hurricane, right? Like it's still a lot of work that needs to be done. Anyway, we're there, and one of the players, one of the entrants anyway, whose I guess name I won't blow up. While that rain was happening, he was clearly it was clearly impacting him, just
PTSD.
the rain
for sure.
And just the fact that it was raining in Puerto Rico, which must happen all the time.
Yeah, now right.
I mean, it must happen all the time, and he's constantly suffering from it. And other people were talking about how their relative passed away. They didn't have any way to store their insulin. Like there's like a bunch of stories like that. Dude didn't know if his cats were going to survive at his parents' place, or if his brother was going to survive. They had no way of telling their mom for a week, right? Whether they're okay.
One person actually told me that when they started going back to work, like some of their coworkers never came back,
right?
Because they just passed away. And obviously, when Trump visited the island, they took him to the nicest area, the least affected area.
Well, and they also described it as being like the most American assimilated.
Right, and then the governor was like, "Yeah, everything's fine. 16 people are dead." Yeah. But I was actually told like they literally had like storage buildings of shipping containers of dead bodies.
Yeah.
And in fact, there was not enough room in them, and 2 of them had to be outside in the heat, and they started rotting. And like water was dripping out of them, and it was all contaminated water. I mean, it was literally like a zombie apocalypse kind of situation. Like they said that they've probably accounted like over 5,000 dead at this point in time. The death toll, literally the week that we showed up there, was escalated from like 64 to 2,900 and something. Mm-hmm. Like that's that week.
Right.
It went up.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, last week. It's just like it's the silliest thing, right?
It's just obviously like totally crazy.
Yeah.
Horrible response to the hurricanes. So what was very encouraging was that First Attack was bigger this year. It had more people than it did in the previous year.
They had more games.
More games, more entrants. I thought a very nice venue for what they had. It couldn't have been in the previous venue, which was still not yet open. It was still closed down after the hurricane.
In fact, on the first day that I was on Friday, I walked around.
Yeah.
And I walked to the old venue because I wanted to go and take a look at it and maybe take some pictures. And guess what? They didn't want us to take pictures because it wasn't done, and so it was roped off. I literally couldn't even walk into the area because they didn't let people see that it wasn't finished yet.
Crazy. Yeah. So still obviously a lot of work to do.
Some people are still without electricity.
Yeah, it's still not good, not a good look for some folks.
Like roads literally fell off the mountain.
Yeah.
And someone had to open up their house to let people get their driveways and stuff like that so people could actually drive around.
And one of the things that got to me was just it's a little human thing, right? One of the guys was talking about how I believe his relative or maybe their family friend had a record collection that went back to the 70s that they were very proud of, and they lost the record collection. And obviously that's less important than people dying and so forth, right? It's just like human connection with the person. Like, I don't have a record collection, but I certainly have things that I would feel terrible if I lost, if they were destroyed. And
it's crazy because I talked to some of these guys, and based from last year to this year, guys that we see every year when we go to First Attack, they sounded the same. Everything sounded normal. They were happy. But then you talk to them about the hurricane, and they're like, "Yeah, for that 5 months, I had no electricity. I was panicking, and I was completely distraught, and all these things."
I had to move to the U.S. for 3 months.
Right, exactly. So it's actually pretty crazy at how well a lot of these guys have recovered from it.
It's very very resilient, very impressive. Like I said, very encouraging. I think that First Attack itself was bigger than before, very well supported. It seemed to go very, very well.
Yeah, and shout outs to Mono as well, and his crew.
Yeah, the crew.
The crew. Right. He has a wonderful, wonderful crew that really works really hard with that. So
okay, enough about that side of things. There was a video game tournament there.
Yeah, and just, in the chat, the government said it was only 60-some people dead, and it officially went to 2,900, but they really honestly estimate, because of the people who are excommunicated from society because they were trapped in their homes, and everyone who's died from starvation or whatever, lack of insulin, lack of water, all that stuff, that the death toll is probably over 5,000 at this point in time.
Yeah.
And like I said, only about 3,000 of it is acknowledged, which is crazy.
Anyway, that's the United States of America right there.
Yeah. And to be fair, not all the blame. Sorry if I.
No, not at all.
Not all of the blame can go to them as well, because they were telling us stories about how the mayors would hoard FEMA trucks. Like the FEMA trucks would actually get sent down there, and the governors of the mayors of certain areas hoarded the FEMA trucks for themselves and didn't even use all of it, and like some of it would get rotted and things like that. And
so not just federal incompetence, but local incompetence as well.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. So there was, but like, you know, the government wasn't fixing any of the electricity, so the mayor of one of the good mayors actually went out and found all of the retired electrical people who worked at the electrical plant, and they rebuilt a makeshift like electrical like network just to give a bunch of people power back and everything like that. So just, oh man, it's like
tough times.
It's like
sort of needlessly tough times.
It's horrible because there's all these terrible stories, but then there's all these wonderful stories of the human perseverance and stuff like that.
Right.
You know,
that you hope that you never have to go through.
Yep, exactly.
I don't like the look anymore myself.
Everyone can't stop talking.
I told the story earlier, so if you want it, it's available. Maybe you'll have to wait until the show ends. You see the archive, but it's there. It exists. It was for a reason.
Oh man.
So first attack results.
Yes.
Which I have.
Oh yes, please bring them up.
Sure.
I do not have them just yet.
Okay, yeah, man, no problem. So in Street Fighter V, which was the final game of the night, 7th places were Orwando with Guile and LPN with Abigail. 5th were Hochi with Akuma and Sonic Box Doomsnake with Vega and Birdie. 4th was DRA with Ibuki. 3rd, Rise Smug with Balrog. 2nd place was CJ Truth with Cammy. And winner, Rise Kaba with Guile. One of the best players in the world.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row taking first attack.
We talked about him as having done so well lately. Top 8 at EVO, top 8 at Hong Kong Esports, 3rd at Taiwan. That he wins this thing. You got to put him at the very, very top of the short list of best players in the world right now. He's doing super, super well. Also awesome for CJ Truth to get 2nd place up there. He's always at first attack, and he's, I think, always made top 8, but he did even better this time. DRA has what? Oh, you just don't want people to see it? It's too gross?
I'm just trying to prevent the distraction. I'm trying to prevent the distraction.
Wow. Too gross. Got it.
So there you go.
Got it. I appreciate it. DRA Ibuki he's so good. He's such a good fundamental player that he can get by with like bare bones Ibuki tech. Like it's very impressive. That character's such a tech monster, and he doesn't really play it like that. And then I'm happy to see Doomsnake pick up Birdie a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely adding to his repertoire because Vega is not going to cut it at this point in time. So
yeah, and he knows that. So
yeah.
Anyway, it was a good tournament. Nice work, everybody. Dragon Ball FighterZ also occurred. 7th places were TLT Affinity with Adult Gohan, Kid Buu, Super Saiyan Goku. 7th, also Godzilla with Cell, 16 Buu, Kid Buu. 5th, Darky with Gotenks, Android 21, Super Saiyan Vegeta. Also, Neural Arc with Vegeta, Zamasu, 16, and Bardock, Cell, Super Saiyan Vegeta. 4th, Big Butt Jackson, whose name I laugh about every year. He's a good player, too. Gotenks, Adult Gohan, Yamcha. He did well in Injustice previously. Yes. He's a good player. 3rd, Neo Vermilion, Gotenks, Adult Gohan, Yamcha. Is that the same team? It is, indeed. 2nd place is Neokarsh, Adult Gohan, Frieza, Bardock.
Really strong Marvel player.
Absolutely.
Who has done super well at first attack like every year he's there for Marvel.
First place winner was Fidelity with Frieza, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and Goku Black, which means that Frieza got 2nd and first place.
Yeah, Grand Finals had 2 Friezas in there,
first attack, yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Also, it's pretty cool to see that Yipes and Matrix were there for commentary.
Yeah, they got him even kind of at the last second, too, but that's really cool that they were out there. Yipes hadn't been out there since like 2015. That was Chris Matrix's first time.
Oh, sick.
Not only that, but I'm glad to see Chris Matrix being able to travel more for DBFZ.
Agreed.
Hopefully he can do more. Hopefully he gets added to the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour.
For sure, that'd be great.
And to a lot more events. So I would really like to see Matrix being able to travel more to a lot of places.
Agreed. And I will tell you this. I was very happy to hear that they were going to be commentating Dragon Ball FighterZ because I thought it was going to be on us. And the day before, I have not downloaded like Zamasu and whatever, whoever is even new in the game. I don't even know. So I was like literally looking up YouTube videos to like try to find out what they do. I was like, sure, I was going to be screwed, but it worked out great. Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. 7 places were PC Headshot Samus and PC Ren with Mario. 5th were ET Gaming Xeon with Diddy Kong, Yoshi, Lucina, and Craven with Greninja. 4th, Greninja. 4th, Mini with Diddy. 3rd, ET Gaming Sant. SAS @NT. Toon Link and Marth. 2nd, ET Gaming King with Sheik, and winner Shadow PR with Bayonetta.
Okay.
Then you got the Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, 4th place.
We actually got to commentate the top 4.
It was awesome.
And I enjoyed it so much.
Oh, so fun.
I know the first day we were a little stagnant, I felt like. But then I think when we got to the top 4, we kind of felt a little more of the groove.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
We don't know any of the move names, but yeah.
Oh, who cares about move names? I mean, look.
Good.
I mean, like honestly, like when you talk to someone like Eris, like he's like, I don't want people in Tekken to call things by their names.
Oh yeah.
He's like, don't tell me it's back forward 3 or whatever.
Stupid.
Like all this stuff.
That.
Don't say like Tooth Fairy. Just give it a name that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Is a move called Tooth Fairy?
Yeah, I think so.
Sick.
Yeah, I think Asuka has the Tooth Fairy.
That actually is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, 4th place was Freezer 2027 with Ori Carmine. 3rd, Light Ice with Makoto Yosuke. 2nd, Iron Alex with S Ruby, and he tried New Batista like one time and it failed. Winner was Jaeger EXP with Mitsuru Jin. Seems like a good team.
With a good comeback, by the way, too, because he got 3-0'd badly by Iron Alex in winners finals.
Sure.
Then he came back and was able to dominate all of a sudden. Like, he just completely...
Oh, yeah. His use of EX Clickety Clack was fantastic.
I don't even know which one Clickety Clack. That doesn't sound like a description that...
You know, EX Stompity Stomp.
With Mitsuru and Jin?
Sure.
Wait, who stomps?
I'm just making it up, man. I don't know. EX Knifey Knife. I don't know.
Stabby Stab?
Stabby Stab.
Okay.
Whatever.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, that's what happened at First Attack 2018. It seemed like a good tournament. Everybody had a good time.
Yeah, there was also side events there. You know, some people did play Marvel stuff. Like I know
that's right.
LOL Raid got first place in Marvel.
Indeed.
Fortnite was played there. It was the first time they had Fortnite. And in fact, they capped it at like 32 teams. And people wanted to buy their way in.
Right.
Like I think they had it capped at 16 at first.
Okay.
And people wanted to buy their way in. And stuff. They had an Overwatch there again, which at one point, honestly, the guys were like their speakers were super loud.
They were definitely loud, and their speakers were pointed right at where we were sitting for commentating.
And we could,
but their crowd was into it. It was
and
cool.
Our volume was super low. We couldn't hear each other,
For
and
sure.
so like we were talking over each other and like trying to commentate. We're like, "What's going on?"
It definitely did happen, but yeah, I think that's really cool though.
Yeah,
because those people were into it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But it's cool because what that means is that First Attack is really not just becoming the premier fighting game event, but it's really just becoming the premier esports event there, you know, and I think that's great. And
sure.
Honestly, I know I said this last year, I'm going to say it again this year, but you know, if you're going to trust any one of these events to start becoming a premier event, you know, this would be a good chance. And you know, you need to, I know Capcom doesn't fly everybody out to the different areas. They have their stream team in Asia, they have their stream team in the North America, and you're not going to grow a stream team in South America if you don't give them a chance to start building things.
I'm with you, man.
So maybe the first year or second year you can fly them out, fly out streamers, like fly out 10-0 so they can train the people there, and then you can get, I mean, right now Level Up is doing it, obviously, but you know, it's just we need to get more of these Latin America events in there. So
Absolutely.
Tekken World Tour events, Dragon Ball World Tour events, even the Arc Revo coming up. I mean, this is a great event to look at because it's pretty much one of the biggest esports events in Latin America right now. So
cool. Anything else to say on it?
Yeah, just really great event. It's great just being back on the island, seeing it recover like that. It's beautiful, beautiful place. We got to do a lot of stuff because you left a day earlier, and I forgot to grab something because I was still salty from Tekken. Would you mind if I took like a 1 minute break, ran up there? You can talk to the stream.
That's fine. I'll just talk about the next tournament.
All right, I'll be right back.
If that's all right. So I also want to talk about, there's a few other events that happened this past weekend. Final Fighters China. Actually, maybe I'll save this because this one was a little controversial. You probably want to talk about it.
Got some weird stuff going on.
All right, for sure. So let's talk about Summer Jam instead, which occurred this past weekend as well. Had all the events that you would expect to, all the games that you would expect to when it comes to Summer Jam. It's always super full, but it was in particular Strong for Tekken this time, where it was a Masters event. Yeah, exactly. And all right, well, Tekken 7 top 8. People traveled there, by the way, from all over the place. I don't think there was a ton of international competition, but there was definitely some. And 7th places were NYC Fab with Fang and Bob. Also Shadow 20Z with Claudio, Kazuya, Xiaoyu. 5th were Pokechap with Josie and PG Speed Kicks with Huarong. 4th was EQNX Equinox, Joey Fury with Jack 7. 3rd was UIU John Ding with Eddie and Lucky Chloe. 2nd place was Jimmy Tran with Brian, and winner was RB Anakin with Jack 7, which means that everybody in that top 8 was from the US with the exception of John Ding, which is pretty impressive for US Tekken. I think that's really sick. Again, there were not a ton of international players there, but there were some for sure. So I think that's pretty impressive. Street Fighter V top 8. 7 places were INC Splash with Cammy and EG NY Chris G with Guile. 5th place, XSK Samurai Akuma, and also Red Bull Snake Eyes Zangief and Akuma. 4th was Nephew with Colleen and a little bit of G. 3rd was Ghost Knuckledoo with Guile and Mika. 2nd place was Toy with M. Bison. Nice. And winner was Echo Fox Punk with Karen. Yeah, definitely cool for Toy. I mean, look, very cool for Punk, who feels like he's been kind of on the outside of things lately, but he's back there now. Toy I feel like, always gets underrated.
Yeah, because he even said he wasn't seeded for this event.
He was not seeded, it turns out, yeah, which is pretty wild.
This guy's been doing super well.
I think 17th at EVO, like, he has been doing really well.
There was another event that he got, like, top 3 at. It was, like, DreamHack Austin, I think it was.
That sounds right,
he did. Yeah, so he's been doing super well. That guy needs some respect on his name right now. People need to give that man some respect on his name. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, cool. And I'm happy to see, by the way, that Snake Eyes is up there as well. Yeah. He actually beat Chris G's Guile with Zangief, which
crazy
is wow. Unexpected, but very, very cool.
Snake played Sagat as well, did he?
Oh, for real? Okay, I missed that.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Well,
do you want me to go through the rest of this, or do you want to do whatever you're going to do?
Really quick, so just on Tuesday at First Attack, we got to, I mean, in Puerto Rico, we got to explore, on Monday, we got to explore some, more of old San Juan and stuff. We went to the same risotto place that we went last year.
Oh, okay, cool.
That was super good. Super. But after we finished that, we went to this place called the Choco Bar, which is just like, it's like super old school chocolates there, and like, they serve nothing but like it's like literally a restaurant, but they like it's one of the first like chocolate places that's on the island, and so they're really long time established.
Okay,
they have a great reputation, and you go to their menu, and it's just like here's alcoholic chocolate drinks, here's like grilled cheese sandwiches with chocolate. I mean, it's like it sounds really weird, and like even though Vi ate a giant risotto at the first restaurant, he went there and he's like, I'm ordering this omelet. And he got this almost gigantic omelet, and so he was like...
With chocolate?
Well, it didn't have any chocolate on the omelet, but Mona was like, you're not finishing that. Yeah. And Vi was like, if I do, will you pay for it?
Oh, what? All right.
And Mona was like, eventually he caved in and did it, and Vi finished the whole thing.
Oh, gross.
Of course, Vi was like, nah, you don't have to pay for it. It's fine.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But at one point in time, he was like, okay, well, you know what? I need some ketchup to help me eat some of this, right?
Yeah.
So he said, like, hey, he asked the waiters, like, do you have ketchup? And the guy's like, well, yes and no.
Oh, my God, it's going to be chocolate ketchup.
We have ketchup, but it's chocolate ketchup.
It's chocolate ketchup. Oh, man.
It's chocolate ketchup.
No. Did you try any?
I did try some.
Okay.
And to be honest with you...
Do you have chocolate ketchup with you right now?
No, I do not have chocolate ketchup with me. But I did try some, and it mostly tasted like ketchup. I'll be honest.
Okay.
It tasted most... But I mean, like, I had a hot chocolate, and they give you, like, a slice of cheese that you can throw in there. Like, it's weird. They have this cheese and chocolate. Like I said, they had grilled cheese sandwiches with chocolate.
Yeah.
Which was very, very strange. They had a lot of alcoholic chocolate drinks and stuff like that.
That part makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. I've never had cheese and chocolate, so I don't know what to think about it.
I mean, when I when I was drinking the hot chocolate and pieces of cheese would get into my mouth. Like, it literally
What a
tasted like
sentence.
I was drinking hot chocolate and then eating a piece of cheese. Like, I didn't feel like they blended. You know what I mean? There was like not
Okay.
a blend. It was weird.
That's what I would expect. But
Yeah, and it just wasn't quite right.
Yeah.
But they did have a lot of really good chocolate bars there, right? So I bought a bunch of them, and I'm going to let you have the first pick on which one you want out of all 5 of these chocolate bars here.
I get
So
a free chocolate bar?
We got premium milk chocolate.
No.
We've got premium milk chocolate with almonds. Premium white chocolate with waffle cone in it.
Oof, bottom of the list.
Premium milk chocolate with waffle cone.
Oh, well, all right.
And then premium milk chocolate with mocha.
Oh, I'm into the mocha. Oh, all right, look at this.
There you go.
I got a chocolate from Cortez.
Cortez, yes.
Thanks, man. I really
That's
appreciate
right.
it. That's nice
yeah,
of you.
so I bought a bunch of these. I'm going to be giving these away to all my friends, and you were the first pick because these were the 5 different ones that they had.
Well, thank you very much.
There you go. So
It's very nice
and
of
I
you.
have 2 more upstairs. One is waffle cone, and the other is almonds. Those are for me. These
Makes
are
sense.
For other people.
Makes sense. Yeah. For me, it was between the mocha and the almond.
The almond, yeah.
Yeah.
The almond one definitely sounds really good. I mean, I have more than 5 friends, but
What a question.
dude, I mean, you know what? To be fair, I feel like that's actually a legit question sometimes these days when I'm in my worst depression.
Oh, come on, you have friends.
That's
not the
that's just the
question.
way it is. It's just the way it is.
I understand the
You know
feeling.
how
I
it
understand
is.
the
So
feeling, of
yeah,
course.
you know
Yeah.
how it is. So, but yeah, no. So I'm gonna give these rest of them away.
Oh, that's
but
awesome, man.
You
What a
get,
nice
you
move.
get you get the first pick. Oh, loving the facial hair from NDBN.
Whoa. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I agree with you, but I appreciate it.
We're going to be continuing this again. If you guys don't remember, last week we were doing it and killing the audio. By the way, everyone's
I
ears
can't
are
imagine.
destroyed. But yeah, we are going to yell "woo" every time
It's
someone
been
gives us
decided.
bits or donations. Either way,
Yes,
we're going to
been
yell
decided.
"woo." Yeah, exactly. So
That's
it's
the best
what's
I
going to
can
happen.
say.
Exactly. So.
Again, I told the story. You should have been here for the start of the show. when I
Uh-oh,
told the
Nutacon
story.
with
Oh,
100
bummer.
bits. Nutacon. Woo!
Oh boy, the old vocal cords.
Okay, we're gonna we'll do it as quiet as possible because it is pretty ringy in the ear.
Okay,
so,
that makes sense. All
So
right.
we'll try to do it a little
For
bit
sure.
quieter.
Summer Jam 12.
Yes.
Dragon Ball
continue
Fighters
forward with
top
that.
8. 7 places were Picos with Kid Buu, Bardock 16, and Fight Coach Steve with
Nice.
Bardock, Majin Buu, and Super Saiyan Vegeta. 5th, The Cutter with Cell, Bardock, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and also 973 Diaphone, Goku Black, Ginyu,
Is it
Cell.
diaphone or diaphony?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
What would you say?
I like diaphony just because it sounds like a Greek goddess or something like that. You know? It
it
sounds like
does.
a Greek character.
It sure
so.
does. I mean, that's just the root is Greek anyway, right? 4th, BC Lord Knight with Captain Ginyu, Gotenks, Android 16. 3rd, KNKDZ, nice, with Adult Gohan, Android 16, and Super Saiyan Goku, as well as Nappa, Kid Buu, Gotenks. 2nd, Nikomaki with Cell, Bardock, Super Saiyan Vegeta. And winner, E.G. NY Chris G with Teen Gohan, Tien, and Trunks.
I don't know Nikomaki very well.
He plays at NLBC
Oh,
and
he
always
does.
does
Okay,
well.
okay.
Yeah,
Good
he's
stuff,
definitely
good
a
stuff.
strong player.
Shout outs to Automatic in the chat. Automatic.
Ah, yeah, the old automatic.
Tech wizard. I'm an automatic shill, so I have to always call
You
him
should
out,
be.
so.
You should be. I guess by the time I met Jibbo, I'd already lost these burns. So,
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
But if you know anything, if you want to know anything about all the new characters in Street Fighter V, as soon as they drop, go tune into his stream and you'll learn all your meaty setups in like 2 or 3 hours. So.
Very nice.
Oh, NBDN with
Oh,
more,
boy.
with more bits, 200 more bits. NDBN.
Whoa, it's gonna get weird. Where did I live in the DMV when I went to Georgetown, David? That's me. I lived in Capitol Hill, and then I lived in DuPont Circle, and then I lived in up the Red Line a little bit in a place that I don't remember the name of. It starts with a C. Columbia
Colby
Heights or something?
Santana
Something with a C?
just subscribed for 2
Wow.
months in a row.
Ridiculous.
We didn't agree to a
No.
woo on them,
No.
right? So
No.
okay, no woos on subs. We gotta do something for sub, right?
We should do something.
High five.
Oh, I got shoulder problems.
Oh, okay. No high five.
That's not really the reason.
All right, give me your chocolate back. No, just kidding.
Thanks. Yeah, the chops are nice. Soul Calibur 6, which was actually there. Pretty cool. 7th place is Omega XCN with Taki and Sane with Ivy. 5th were Jimbo Nader with Zasalamel and JJJ with Grow.
Okay.
4th, Woes with Grow. 3rd, Ninja Guy 446 with Grow and Sophicia. 2nd place, Boom with Yoshimitsu and Grow. Winner was Linkors with Siegfried and Geralt. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of the game. Also, I'm hoping it's pronounced Grow. Right. I don't know how to pronounce the O with the little thing through it.
Yuns and Roses has donated 10 bits.
Okay.
Woo! There you go.
All right.
Could you even do a JoJo pose if someone wanted you to do a JoJo
I've seen enough people doing JoJo's poses.
Because I'm not even sure I can do a JoJo pose.
I don't know any like specific one
the
for sure.
The only thing I know is like hand covering face or something like that. But you know,
you did it. Yeah, for sure. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle top 8. UGS B-Boy Dragon with Ruby Blake. Also Antiquarian with Mitsuru Gordo. Those are 7th places. 5th were Soul Heart RS with Ragna Hyde and Method Flux with Mitsuru New. Okay, I gotta go back and watch this. That's cool. 4th was PAG Rhino with Carmine Jin. Also, 3rd was PAG Grover with Yu Ruby and Yu Mitsuru. 2nd place was 973 Diaphany with Mai and Blake. And winner was Tame Storm with Yu and Jin. Interesting.
Is that... Oh, Tame Storm. Oh, I thought that was almost Fame because Yu and Jin, but... Isn't that who
that actually is probably what it is.
Is it supposed to be Fame Storm, probably?
It may just be a play on Fame. Yeah, maybe Fame and does take.
Okay.
I don't know that to be true, but that is just... Yeah, that would make sense. Mm-hmm. Cool to see Mai up there. Mitsuru, what do we got?
I mean, Mai and Mitsuru seem like good characters just from the get-go.
Definitely, so, yeah. No, I'm with you, but I got to go back and see. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. 7 places, Tame Storm with Space Jetta Dante.
Oh, maybe it is a different player.
I don't know. Fame did play that game, so. Also, Geobron with Power Spider-Man Hawkeye. He's always been in Spider-Man. 5th were HOC Scamby with Space Gamora Sigma, Space Winter Soldier Sigma, and Reality Nemesis Chris. Reality and Chris. Huh? 5th, NY Scum Youth with Soul Captain America Dante. 4th was EXGNE Escalante with Space Strider Hawkeye. 3rd was Pitofaya with Soul Hagar Strider. Okay.
Interesting.
2nd, WD Daigon with Space Captain Marvel Dante and Space Monster Hunter Captain Marvel. Wow, Captain Marvel got 2nd place. That's super cool. EGNY Chris G won it with Space Morgan Monster Hunter. Fighting EX Layer top 4 were BXA Jackal Skullomania. 3rd, Hazardous Forever King with Shadow Geist. 2nd, SX Rogue Yoshi with Shirase. And D Nice, wow, wins with D Dark.
Yeah, and again, I don't even think that it's really necessarily... Okay, Tap 2 GG.
I already did.
Woo! Okay, I mean, to be honest with you, like, there's a lot of people still playing MVCI. Like, the whole reputation that nobody plays it anymore right now is not even accurate, so...
You know what's dead? Is that meme. That it's dead. Mm-hmm. It should be. It should be.
Fighting games are never really truly dead unless it's like Time Killers or Mace the Dark Age.
Wow, yeah, what a reference. Mm-hmm. Time Killers. Yeah. I used to play that too.
Remember you could hit all 5 buttons and chop their head off and that was game over pretty much? It's really hard to do, but it was just still there. So.
I don't think I knew how to do it at the time. To be honest.
I think it's just you smash your hand on all 5 buttons.
That was the stupidest way to do it, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2. 7 places, BKYD 2nd State with May. 7th also Punished Shoddy with Kai. 5th were Munchie Jr., Slayer, and L Venom. 4th was TSB Blaze with Raven. 3rd, Chacha Man with Milia. 2nd, TSB PAG Minus with Eno. And winner was BC Lord Knight with Milia.
Makes sense.
Under Night in Birth. 7th place is AM Sleepy with Eltnum and PAG Vic Viper with Akatsuki. 5th were KPB DZ Kujaku with Hilda. 5th also was Yams with Phonon. 4th was Sid the Haze with Merkava. Third, Necro Undyne with Phonon and Carmine. Second place was WS Initial J with Byakuya, and winner was KPB JDR with Hyde.
Interesting. Okay.
Injustice 2. 7 places were Henda Kid, Wonder Woman, and Burinoni 007. Cheetah. 5th were Burrito Voorhees with Swamp Thing and Gorilla Grodd. Also Pulse the Flash. 4th was Triclops with Atrocitus, Scarecrow, Starfire. 3rd was Hazardous Forever King, Batman. 2nd place, Method, Silver Eye, Hellboy, and winner was Gur Adam.
Triclops, I love it.
Triclops.
Do you remember where he's from?
No.
He was from He-Man.
Oh.
Masters of the... He was the guy with the 3 different eyes.
I never watched it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I always thought it was dumb even as a kid.
I was into He-Man when I was a kid.
Yeah,
dude.
okay,
I was
alright.
into He-Man.
Alright, well, I can't complain too much. I had my own...
The best one was that they always had it so that, you know how toy company always work. They recolor someone and release him as a completely different character, right? So everybody had a clone, basically. And Merman, his clone was Stinkor, which was the guy who basically, when you got him, he just smelled really badly.
Did he actually?
His gimmick was he smelled really badly. And the best thing about it is, when you went to the store, you would always see just racks of Stinkor.
Literally the physical character smelled.
Yeah, they made it so that the toy smelled.
Wow.
That was like his gimmick of all the things. And
what a terrible idea. Hilarious and terrible idea.
Yeah, I mean, someone thought this would be cool to do, and it was not the right call.
Like, that is a funny idea. That guarantees your stuff doesn't sell. I like it. Smash for Wii U. 4th was NPT,
so many games
GWJ,
here.
Rosalina, Luma, and Rob. 3rd was SYE Earthboundy with Ness and Lucas.
Ness?
Yeah, that makes sense. Earthboundy is his name.
Right.
2nd, Sparky with number 25. Sparky number 25 with Duck Hunt, and winner was Juice with Zero Suit Samus. KOF 14 was won by PAG Pachu KOF. Pokken Tournament DX was won by INC Flagar with Lucario and Krogan.
Okay.
Oh, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Josh C. qualifies for Tournament of Legends 3
right.
by winning with the Claw.
Oh. The Claw. Man,
the Claw.
That character is so broken.
What a butt. There you go. That was Summer Jam. That was a good one. Let's go to Ultimate Fighting Arena next, which was in Europe.
Yes.
This was a big event. It was for Dragon Ball. What do they call their Masters events? Dragon Ball Fighters World Tour Saga event.
Saga event.
Which means that if you win it, then you get a Dragon
Ball. Correct.
Top 8 for it were 7 places GGWP Soji with Ginyu 16 Super Saiyan Goku. Also Arcade Alioun with 21 Majin Buu Super Saiyan Vegeta.
I know a lot of players traveled for this. A lot of U.S. players were out there too.
Oh yeah.
And you know what the best thing about it was listening to them talk about like the jet lag.
Yeah.
And they were just like, whoa, how do the Asian players even do this? They're like, oh, I have so much more respect for the things that they have to deal with. So
it was very cute to see their Twitters and how new everything was to them.
Yeah,
like there was that side of it that was new, obviously, but then they were also like I forget who it was, posted a picture of whatever was outside of their bedroom, right? And it was just like a house that was outside. It was just like a field.
Right,
the wall wasn't particularly nice looking. And they were like, wow, I came all the way to France, and this is what it looks like. As if it's just like a place where people live. Like, that's all it is, you know? It's a different place, but it's just a place.
I mean, the problem is, it's like a lot of these places are so romanticized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That when you go there and you're like, Paris is like not like
it's a city where humans live and do things.
You don't hear amazing like violin music everywhere you go, and there's not like flowers and love is not blooming everywhere in Paris, dude.
Right.
That's the way it is. So
I thought that was very funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It was a very international, very well attended event. So Alioun got 7th place with 21 Majin Buu Super Saiyan Vegeta. 5th places were PG Nakio with Gotenks, Adult Gohan, Goku, and Oplan Skyle or Skill, I forget how they pronounced it on the stream. I was watching a little bit of it anyway. Vegeta, 16, and Super Saiyan Goku.
That is definitely true, Fly Low Am, about Hollywood. Oh, man.
Oh, boy. I live in Hollywood. I can tell you that place is a butt.
Yeah.
It's a butt. I feel like every tourist must be disappointed.
Right. I mean, it's seriously like the city that didn't shower for 2 weeks, you know?
Yeah, maybe 2 decades. It's a lot better now than it used to be. But it's not pretty. 4th place was BC Apology Man with Piccolo, Tien, and Super Saiyan Goku. Third was Ponos Garureo with Goku Black, Bardock, and 16. Second place was Energy Hook Gang God with Cell, Piccolo, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and Piccolo 16 Super Saiyan Vegeta. But number one overall was CAG Goichi with Cell, Bardock, and Super Saiyan Vegeta.
Is that his first Dragon Ball, or is that his second Dragon Ball?
No, I think that's it. There haven't been that many.
Yeah, okay, because that's his first. Because Kazunoko came for his neck at CEO.
Yeah, Kazunoko,
and then
Sonic Fox,
right?
And now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was Sonic Fox, was Evo one where he got a Dragon Ball, or I forget?
I believe so.
Okay. I can't remember now at this point in time. So.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Canada. No, SCR is the next one, and then Canada Cup, I think. So.
If you go just outside of the top 8, you have Wawa, Shanks, Aixi,
He got it at VS Fighting.
Oh, my bad.
Evo,
You're right.
Evo was not one.
You're
yes.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right.
I remember that, yeah.
And then 13th were Cloud 805, Xerox, A Foxy Grandpa, and Super Noon. I thought it was very cool that the European players did as well as they did.
Yeah.
It's a region that in all the fighting games really gets slept on, even though obviously they're strong. There just are fewer areas to show it. Like, it's cool for me to see Xerox do well there, who I first saw at Vianality.
That's right.
And I had never heard of him before, and he won both Street Fighter and Dragon Ball Fighters. And here he is at one of the absolute majors for the game, and he's doing well. So I think that's cool. Skill in 5th place was the highest placing one. Alioun was up there. Very, very nice. Yeah. Nice work. But also super cool so if you look at how the grand finals went, right? Energy Hook Gang God is coming from losers. He 3-0'd Goichi in set 1. And then he got 3-0'd in the second set. But the first 2 games were like right down to the final character. In watching it, I thought this is about as close as it gets, you know.
Right,
And then in the last game, he got effectively perfected.
Oh, that sucks.
There was almost a perfect.
I thought maybe Goichi between the sets asked for a side switch or something like that. So
that would have been hilarious. But no, it was just a really good adaptation. Yeah. But so it looks like a blow up 3-0, but it was a little closer than that. Anyway, it was good.
Okay. Yeah, also another thing, too, going back to Summer Jam a little bit, I know that in Street Fighter, they did losers, semis, winners, finals, losers, finals again.
Right.
And guess what? Person lost in losers, finals. We got to stop that.
We do have to stop that.
It's just something we got to look into, make sure that we don't do.
I suspect that many of the events there aren't that many, but I suspect that that's basically how Big E does it, and I don't think he's going to change that. I'd be surprised.
Oh, really? Has he actually said something about that?
No. That's just Big E. I mean, he likes how his events are run.
Right. Yeah.
It's rare that he makes a drastic change.
Okay.
I would like it, and I'm not trying to blow him up. I just think that's his.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was Dragon Ball. KOF 14. Fourth was ON Vix with Leona Nelson Banderas. Third was Ungadine with Nelson K-Clark. Second was Guac.fr. Victor was Xanadu Muimui and Metenkun. And winner was Ntati with Maxima Athena Iori.
Okay.
HNTATI. Street Fighter 5. 7 places were Method Broski with Dalsum and Jones Arcade with Ken. 5th was Mouse Problem X with Abigail and G.
5th?
5th.
Wow. Okay.
Also 5th, XL Isam with Bison. 4th was BJK Luffy with Mika. 3rd was NVD Phenom with Nikali and Guile. 2nd place was NVD Momi with Cammy. And winner was Nasser Angry Bird with Akuma, but also with Zeku.
With a lot of Zeku there, too.
I think it was not as much as Akuma.
Oh, really?
Is what I've read.
Okay,
I didn't watch.
Okay.
That's what I've read. And I did see the end. When he did win with Zeku, that's what he closed it out with. I've heard before about Angry Bird Zeku, that it's not, it's real, it's the best probably in the world, and he showed it. That's super cool.
Yeah, so good job. I mean, he stopped playing Ken and Rashid to go with Zeku. No, I'm just kidding. I know Angry Bird, Big Bird are two different people. I even made the joke to him myself, when Big Bird tweeted about it, and I was like, hey, congratulations on winning a ranking event in Street Fighter 5 with Zeku, and I was like, I'm just kidding, because he said so many people congratulated him after Angry Bird.
That makes sense. Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2. Fourth was D.O. Ken Deep with Koom. And third was Guac.fr Shenzo with Dizzy. Second was Knifey 7 with Soul. And winner was GG player Elfeld.
Okay.
Tekken 7. Fourth was Wanted D Tinky Boobies with Kuma, Panda, and Lee. I'm just reading it off the page, dude. Don't blame me. Third was Kalak with Lily. Yeah, he has to inspect it. Kalak with Lily and Katarina. Second place, ELS Doug from Paris with Steve, Paul, and Geese. And winner was Connix, Gunny, Jack 7, Geese, Nina, and King.
Okay. There you go.
Tinky Boobies.
Tinky Boobies.
There you go.
B-O-O-B-I-Z.
Correct. It's not lewd, all right?
I mean, I think it's supposed to be pronounced Boabiz.
Of course, of course.
Definitely
no, you're
Boabiz.
Right.
Right?
You're right.
You just have a dirty mind.
No, you're right. Yeah, my bad. And then, last among the big tournaments that happened this past weekend, there was a bunch. Third straight CPT premier event in Asia.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild. It was really backlogged.
And it's just not stopping because next week there's going to be more. There's going to be 4 more premieres in the next 3 weeks.
Right.
Which is crazy.
DreamHack Montreal this coming weekend. SCR.
Then there's going to be. Maybe I was including this past weekend as well.
Okay.
China one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
In any case, a lot of stuff's going on.
Yeah.
So this event was, before we talk about the results, a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the brackets, if you look at the pools, there were, I feel, clearly shenanigans. So they claim that the pools were random, and if you look at every pool has strong players, right? It's not like they gave the Chinese players nobody in their pools. However, if you look at the pool distribution, even within the pool, on one side of the pool will be Bupkis and a Chinese player, and then I think a first round matchup was Itazan versus Gachikun.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I mean, come on.
I mean, was it more than one? More than Shanghai? Was it?
Yeah, other people too. Yeah.
Dang,
in fact, that's how. Well, that's part of the reason that some of the players who got into top 8 got into top 8. They played really well. I don't want to undersell them, but that's certainly, I think, part of the reason.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things too. You weren't allowed to use. You were only allowed to use certain costumes for a lot of the female characters in the game.
Indeed, although amusingly, they didn't specify what Laura has to wear.
Right, because I think they just didn't have any options. They were probably like,
you just can't pick
Laura.
Yeah,
they were probably like, none of them work. Oh well, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, that was weird. Well, whatever. ESPN had that kind of restriction, and it's like not unheard of for us.
I guess they didn't enforce the whole you have to wear our jerseys thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what
so
I've
if you
read.
didn't have a sponsor, they were just, it was a recommendation.
Right.
Of course, there was also no shorts and no all these other things. So Oil King, what does Oil King do? And then UIU actually came out, and Jinhee, the CEO of UIU, was like, actually, his shorts are his official UIU jersey uniform.
Right. Because if you were a sponsor player, you had to wear your uniform.
Right, yeah.
Everybody else was, I mean, it seemed to me to read like you have to wear whatever they provide for you, right? Like there's a t-shirt that they had. I guess it was a recommendation. But yeah, the way that he got around it was his official uniform is that he wears shorts.
And the best thing about it is when he wins, like he comes out on stage and he's just like...
He won! It's so perfect. I think that is great.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's a weird tournament. The Chinese market is not one that Capcom can ignore, of course, right? And this is it's an issue that a lot of companies have run up against. This is, I think, the 3rd year in a row where there has been some kind of weird stuff at a Capcom Pro Tour event in China.
Really?
Like weird bracket
Seating
stuff,
or
weird, something goes strange about it. And I think it's been a different crew each time, but that, I guess, frankly speaking, that's something that they put up with, right? Like, it's not like they can say, all right, all of China, we're going to ignore you. You just...
Are you saying China is full of shady people, David? Is that what you're trying to imply here? Are you trying to imply that my people, that my heritage is full of... I mean, they are, but,
Not an easy...
My Asian parents had one of those little boxes that you can, like, watch movies on and everything like that. And so my dad was like,
PCR?
this thing is like, well, it's like, it was like a streaming service, right? But it's like
Okay.
one of those behind, like there's like apps on it. He's like, this thing is so great. You can watch all the movies that are currently out in theaters right now.
Okay.
I'm like, because it's illegal, Dad. And he's like, can't be illegal. There's no. I'm like, it's made by Chinese people.
Oh, okay. All right. It was actually on the physical, like the physical box allowed you to do it.
Yeah, they have like a streaming.
It was like obvious.
It was like a Netflix streaming service, but they have. But the thing is, the box doesn't have anything on it. It's just a box that runs apps.
Right.
But the apps happen to work.
Right.
So the people selling the box, they can't.
Okay.
Hey.
That'll work
yeah,
for sure
exactly.
in court of law.
So. But then I was like, he was like, it can't be. I was like, of course it's illegal, Dad. It's done by Chinese people.
Also, didn't your parents own like a video store?
They did, but they stopped.
No, I know, but shouldn't he? I feel like that's something he should know about. I don't know.
It's the internet, dude. It's the internet. So.
In meanwhile, I taught my mom how to file share illegally, and she does it regularly.
Oh my God.
Anyway. So I think that's it for as far as the weird stuff goes at the tournament. But like I said, it's strange to me that this Chinese event would have the premier event, but nobody in Latin America, right? It's on the one hand, that's weird to me because I know that some of the events in Latin America are run very well, but that's not all that is. That's not the only consideration, right? The other consideration is China is a huge, huge market. You have to satisfy it. They have so many players. Like they have so many people who would watch, who would enter.
Yeah, I mean they had a Hong Kong event just like the weekend before.
Yeah.
But they gotta have the
right,
China,
mainland China. Right.
Yeah.
Don't worry. If she gets in trouble, she knows a copyright lawyer. She'll be all right.
Oh, man.
So Street Fighter V was the big one there. Top 8 were 7th places. It's a 4-4-4-4 with Balrog and Pithead with Fang, Chinese player.
Nice.
That's really cool. 5th places were Atlas Bear Storm Kubo with Abigail and Huang Yang Mian. Why don't you take it for a spin?
Huang Yang Mian.
Mian. All right.
Mian.
Cool. Zeku. 4th. CYG BST Fudo with Mika. 3rd was Fudo Fujimura with Ibuki. 2nd place, Echo Fox Momochi with Colleen and Akuma. And winner was UIU Oil King with Rashid.
Nice. There you go. Oil King winning this premiere, right? So winning his first premiere. And so congratulations to him. And I was even reading about some of the stuff. I think the UIU guys were tweeting about how at one point in time he was even questioning, like, can he win? Because he just hasn't won something, and he finally won one, and it was a premiere, and it was a stacked premiere as well. So, yeah,
very, very impressive.
Good job to him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The
really
only,
happy for Oil King.
So Alex Myers traveled out there. He did get 9th place, just outside of it. I think he's the only American that I heard of who went. He's the only one in top 16 in any case.
Like I know a bunch of other, like Justin was out there, but I don't think he was there for that. I think he was there for something else, and he didn't enter. So, yeah.
Yeah, 9th places were Abao, Moke, Gachikun, Myers. 13th were Hot Dog 29, Nemo, Itazan, and Gafro. So there's some really good players out there, that's for sure.
Yep.
That was Street Fighter. I think that was all they ran. Yeah. Again, kind of a weird tournament. I really hope that settles down in some way, and that fine. If there are restrictions like on what costumes you can wear, because
that's one thing. Yeah,
that's one thing. Stuff like weird bracket stuff where they claim it's random. It first of all shouldn't be random, right? It should be seeded.
Well, here's
second
the thing.
of all, if it's going to be random, that's not random.
Premier event should already be mandated that you use the Capcom Pro Tour standings to seed your players. That should be a rule in place already, I think. Like, I can't see why a premier event wouldn't. You know what I mean? That just seems really odd to me, so...
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Justin was there last weekend. He was there this weekend.
Okay.
He was at PAX this weekend. That's right, because the Army event was also at PAX this weekend, too. Yeah.
There was a fun finale to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, shady event. Hopefully, at some point, they will get good events in China, because the players there deserve it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Okay.
That's it for events that I have.
So there was the Army event that was out over there. I forgot the name of the guy who won, but Frank is Trash, I think, got second place with Ryu, and he just couldn't beat the guy who was using Guile. So yeah, the Guile player won. I forgot what his name was. But yeah, Ringe, Justin, and Flo did that. So did the army stuff in PAX. So
yeah,
it's actually really cool.
Yeah. All right.
There's no mandate for how to seed brackets for CPT. I just feel like,
probably,
it was like that. Music G or something like that.
Oh, that does sound right, actually.
Yeah. But he was a really good Guile player.
Okay.
He was really good. So congrats to him. I know a lot of people were trying to root for Frank is Trash because he was using Ryu, right? So low tier hero, but.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely think that the CPT should look at rules for seeding. I'm with you that they should enforce winners finals, then
loser semis.
Right? I don't want the tours to have that much control over how tournaments run things, but when it comes to things like that that are sort of important to be run across the same way at multiple events, then I'm down for that stuff at least.
Well, it's interesting because Curly, obviously, Curly W is a big seeding person. Yeah. He's good at making brackets, and he's saying he's not a fan of using the CPT standings for seeding an event. So
okay, yeah, I'm not sure that needs to be how it should be run, but I think that you could create a system that maybe you could approximate at least using the CPT standings. You know, I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of good resources out there. Rank.shoryuken.com is a good resource out there as well. Sure. So, yeah.
Or at least just have like the same crew of people who seeded each time, so they can be consistent. I don't know. Right. I actually didn't bring it up. I forgot to. Did we talk about the spies that made the Chinese players lose? One of the Chinese players after the event said that he was trying to publicize the strong players in China. Here's this player. Here's who they use, so that people could get to know them, right? Because the rest of the world, we kind of don't know them as well as maybe we should. And it turns out that those players, some of them anyway, were mad at this guy for outing them.
Yeah, for exposing their tech and
for
stuff
exposing
like that.
them.
But it was also because the person who did it, I think, doesn't he have like ties to like he's done work in Japan before. So
I don't know that.
I think like they thought that he was doing it because he was just trying to help the Japanese players win or something like that.
Anyway, keep those random brackets over there. Okay. So that's it. That's all I got. 4 events. You want to take a break?
Well, like I said, the Army stuff happened.
Music
G won that one. I thought there was something else, but there's 7,000 events are going on. But yeah, let's take a break.
Cool.
And when we come back, we will go over some more stuff.
News.
All right.
And we'll debate it.
Be right back, guys. Be right back. I forgot to switch the thing. Oh, well, whatever.
It's all good.
It's all good. They're pointing at me, man. They're pointing at me. I don't like it. People can't stop talking about your chops, dude.
The chops. Maybe that's why it worked in college. It was just like an unusual thing.
Well, I mean, in college, it was kind of all about trying to stand out. And it was like when you discover that you want to try to be unique. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So,
I started growing these when I was 15, and the reason that I did was that it was such a novelty. Like, very few of my friends could grow a beard at all at that point.
Oh,
and I came to school. This is so during the summer between freshman and sophomore year is when I really realized that I could grow a beard. And so, I was hanging out with some friends during that time, but you don't see most people at school until the next school year. And so I came to school the next school year with these sick chops, sick goatee, man, full on goat. All the guys were like, "What?" I'm sure all the girls were like, "Did you see what David did to himself?" But,
Sure, they were like, "Oh, David with the mutton chops." Ooh,
oh, yeah, I bet.
Swooning, right? So, yeah, exactly. Oh, man. It's funny. Oh, man, I'm trying to grab
it. Was the 70s. It was not. Although, I did, for Halloween, go as a disco guy for probably 4 years in a row.
Wait, for how you went as a disco guy 4 years in a row?
Because I already had the chops. It was too obvious of a costume, and I was super lazy.
Did you have the white shirt? Were you like the John Travolta kind of disco guy with the?
It was a little sluttier of a leisure suit, I would say.
Was it more like Disco Stew?
It was a little bit more like Disco Stew, full chest hair out, a gold chain, and Would my wife be attracted to past David? Well, I can tell you her response to these chops right now. She's not a big fan.
Oh, man.
I don't remember if I ever told this story on the show, but one time, I was in a frat, and one time I went to this party with a sorority in our frat, and I had, at the time, had these chops, but I also had a mullet. Right, I told the story?
Yeah, I think you did, yeah, where the girl was
the girl saw me trying to dance with her, and her friend and her, looked at me. No. Anyway, she turned around and looked at me, and she was like, oh, hell no, and she walked away.
Oh, man, it's too funny.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
Oh, man. Lots of stuff happened. Yeah, you finished your food already, huh?
Oh, I was really hungry, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually pretty hungry right now, too. Need to get some food at some point in time, and...
Man, I probably could have killed it back in the day if I had not had a goatee and a mullet, and if I had showered. Imagine.
In college, you mean?
Yeah.
You would have been quite a something. You would have been a catch back
I might have been a catch.
Oh, man. Too funny. That's true. You did have 5 different hairstyles at the same time. There was also a Dragon Ball FighterZ Australian online radar event.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Oh, dang. I'll talk about this because I'm being a little biased here. So,
I was not a stereotypical frat boy. I mean, our frat was definitely all nerds. We played video games. We had a study night. But that said, at Berkeley, there were really only a couple of stereotypical frats. Everybody at that school is a nerd to some degree. So it was not, I don't think it was like a typical frat atmosphere. And the couple times when I went to other schools that did have very classical frat atmospheres, I hated it. I was in the frat called Sig Ep, Sigma Phi Epsilon. And I went to Penn State one time, which is maximum frat boy territory.
Okay.
And I went to the Sig Ep house to try to just party, hey guys, I'm here, I don't know anybody, what's up?
Yeah.
And God, they were just insufferable. I hated it. I hated being around them constantly.
That's funny.
So I don't think I would have joined a frat at most schools, but at Berkeley it made sense.
Okay. All right, I think I got all this.
All right.
Here, so, all right, let's do this. Let's jump back into the show.
Hey man, Sig Eps at some schools were cool. It's at least at the time it was the frat that had the most chapters in the country. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it is now, but so that meant that there's a huge variety, of course, right? Mm-hmm. Different frats at different schools are very different. So some that I met were really nice. They're basically the same kind of thing that my frat was, and some of them were assholes. So,
sounds
how it goes, right?
That sounds like everything,
right? Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so. Let's discuss if you could move the old
thing
over to the thing.
Thank you.
5-5 matchup. So, on the docket, of course, as we discussed last week, the shooting in Jacksonville has been a big deal, and it's made everybody think about security more than before. Mm-hmm. We weren't ignoring it, really. As we discussed, some events have been implementing security measures already.
Even First Attack had some.
That's true.
They searched everybody.
They did. They opened up the bags.
Like they had the little wands and everything like that to make sure.
Sure.
Yep.
That is true. Evo had some stuff. First, final round required see-through bags. CEO had bag check.
Right. And it's going to get more so in upcoming events, since the Jacksonville attack.
Definitely.
And one of the ones that was announced for that was SCR, which said that they're going to up the security on that. And one of the things that they said was, they're obviously going to do a bunch of stuff, obviously bag checks, et cetera, et cetera. But one of the things they announced was going to be that you have to open up your joystick. And so if you are a person who doesn't have one of those TEs that opens up, or, the joysticks that can, a Quamba Dragon, for example, that's like a hinged. If you have one that has to be unscrewed, they're going to unscrew your joystick and check inside.
This when we were talking about it last week, I think I brought up that scenario as as something that I would not want to accept.
Right.
Right. Like I'm willing to accept certain measures, but you can't open everybody's stick, right? And then they went and announced it.
It's not Chemba either, Olaf. It's Tremba. So the video that he put out was actually wrong. Dang. He was like, "This is how you pronounce it," and he put out the wrong pronunciation.
That is funny.
It's actually not Chemba. It's Trenba, which is exactly how you spelled it the first time. Quanba. That is how you would spell it in Pinyin. That is officially how it is. Tren, which of course means punch, a strike, a fist, which is the same as ken in Japanese, which is shoryuken, hadoken, and all that stuff like that.
Cool.
So there you go.
Definitely.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. So yeah, SoCal Regionals announced that they're going to check through people's sticks. Now, I don't think it's that they're going to check through everybody's stick. I don't think that it's more like we could check your stick, right? Now, a couple things. So my take on this is that I don't like it, right? As I said before, that was like my worst case scenario of last week, which now is real. So I don't like it because I think it's an invasion of privacy and a big inconvenience.
Yeah, and, for sure.
With security, right? The question is like, how much security are you willing to accept? Because at some point you're going to impinge on other things like inconvenience and right of privacy, and at some point there's diminishing returns to the security, but the impingement against the other things becomes more and more drastic, right? So you have to try to balance it. What were you going to say?
No, I was just saying, because Say No to Weeb says check the ones who look suspicious, but that opens yourself to racial profiling, right? Work, So obviously you're going to open all the joysticks of all the white people there, because they're always the ones that shoot the places.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Because because I think that's actually accurate racial profiling for
that actually is funny.
Yeah. So.
So anyway, but it's not just that it's a big old inconvenience and it's an invasion of privacy, but it's also just it could be an invasion of warranty, right? People are concerned that if they open up their joysticks, that they'll void their warranty. What's interesting is that.
Someone says that all fight sticks will be inspected. That was the kind of formal announcement out there. And then, but another thing, just speaking of Tremba or Quamba, Tremba, I'll say Tremba just to be accurate. But they've actually said that they're going to, at SCR, they will log everybody's name down for the joysticks, the Tremba joysticks that get opened, and that will not void your warranty. So they will keep in mind, they will keep a record of that. So they're actually trying to go, they're trying to,
they're trying to attack
help them out.
So if you're somebody who's concerned about privacy, even worse is what if the company that sold you your stick gets all of your contact information? Like that's it's not a good solution. I understand that there are a few good solutions, but that's not a good one. I want to say about the warranty thing that opening up your joystick doesn't void your warranty. Legally speaking, that if they say that voids your warranty, that's not enough to do so. Legally speaking, you have better consumer protections than that. So don't be concerned that actually is going to void your warranty. What may happen is that if it's opened and you return it to the joystick manufacturer, they may say this has voided your warranty. It hasn't, but do you want to do the whole arguing thing, right? You may have a problem on your hands in that respect. So it's not legally speaking, you're fine, but there may be more practical concerns. I also want to say about the fact that the speech that that SCR put out seems to say that every single stick will be checked. It does say that, but I didn't have any input in this. I would say that from a lawyer perspective, I would always say that.
Right.
And then I would choose to not do every single one.
Right.
But I would always want to sort of stake out more control for my client than maybe is absolutely necessary, just for safety's sake.
And hopefully, you know, if enough people bring it up and complain about it, maybe they'll try to find alternate methods or something like that.
Well, I mean, I talked with Alex with Valle, of course, as part of
First Attack,
the team that runs SoCal Regionals. And I told him I didn't like it. You know, I mean, I don't want to beat around the bush with him, this guy I like. So his response was that he's basically worried about the liability of it. You know, I don't want to minimize that.
I mean, look what's happening in Jacksonville right now. Some of the people that were there who experienced it are suing. Right. So, like, there are people who are actually suing the venue and suing Madden at this point in time. So, you know.
So I understand that they're concerned about the liability, and if you take measures that, you know, are almost extreme, you can be. It's tough to argue that there's any liability, right?
Right.
One of my responses anyway to that was that the people who bring those lawsuits are not bringing them because they really think they're going to win, right? Sometimes, but a better way to think about it is that there's sort of like a vengeance aspect to it, or like a hope aspect to it. So maybe some lawyer has told them that it's something that's going to work out. It's probably not.
Okay.
But
it's just you have to deal with the hassle of it.
Well,
like
what I mean to say is that the person who's bringing that lawsuit is not somebody who's doing it from a rational concern. So despite whatever steps you take, somebody's going to sue you. That is to say, you can still be sued.
Right, of course.
Whatever steps you take, you can still be sued. Would that work out? Probably not. It already probably won't work out. So extra steps is going to make it also not work out, but you get sued anyway.
Right.
So I just don't think that it's that effective a way to avoid liability is all. But I think more importantly, what Alex told me was that there were people who were worried about sending their kids to SCR, right? Parents who wanted to know what SCR would do, and so this is like a palliative measure so that SCR can show people, look, we're taking security seriously. Right. We're really doing some things. And he said that, in fact, quite a few people have decided to register since that announcement because they feel like there's safer. Right, more safety. So, hey, I get that. That makes sense to me. I do think that some people won't go because of it as well. I don't expect the numbers for either side of that to be high.
Right.
I don't think many people are going to go because of it or despite it are not going to go.
Yeah, I mean, the only real thing that it comes down to is make sure you go down there half hour before your pool starts.
Right. Definitely get there
just early. Make sure you get there at a decent time, man. Just don't.
And, you know, my concern as well, and this is something that I talked briefly about with Alex, is how are you going to allow people to come in and out, right? Because nobody goes into the tournament hall and only stays there. Oftentimes the bathrooms are outside.
Right.
You'll want to get food outside. You'll want to go back to your room. I mean, any number of things. And that's going to be tougher to do if you have this thing to go through each time you come in and out, if they in fact do check every stick.
Right.
So what he mentioned is maybe there's some sticker you put on your stick, right? Some signifier. But how do you make it so that that's permanent enough that you can't just trade sticks, right? Or trade the sticker. Yeah, exactly. And does anybody want to put a permanent thing on their stick just for this? I don't know.
Something that if you peel off, it leaves behind the little, like those VHS tapes. I mean, I knew all about those, because my parents did own the video store, and we had those silver stickers on everything. Although I can tell you, I do know how to get them off.
Okay.
So
you got tech, huh?
There's definitely ways to do it.
A little rubbing alcohol?
Yeah. Not necessarily rubbing alcohol, but something very close to that. So
it's getting weird. Is it weird?
No, it's not weird. It makes sense. It makes sense if I said.
Is it secret tech?
I don't know if it's secret tech or not. Actually,
tricks of the trade. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I agree with Paul, who says that there are many places to hide a weapon. It's just
peanut butter. Why did two people say peanut butter at the same time, dude? It's just wild.
Maybe that works.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't think so. I think that it's a big inconvenience. Obviously, I also think it's a significant invasion of privacy. Not one that rises to any like legal concern. Right. It's not a constitutional or legal issue. It's just for me a frustration. I understand why they do it, so I don't want to vilify them in any sense. I disagree with it. I think it's going too far. I hope other tournaments don't do the same thing. I understand why they did it. Are doing it.
Right. And that's the toughest part, is that they're kind of in this awkward position that they're going to be one of the first big events that have to deal with this, right? And they kind of, I feel like they have to set this precedent in a weird way. Again, like you said, I don't like it, but I was expecting this. I mean, even when it first happened, one of the first things I tweeted is this going to become a thing where we have to open up all our joysticks now? That was one of the first things I tweeted. I was like, is this going to happen? Because I kind of knew it was happening. I knew that this was going to be a thing. And so it's not a surprise to me. I don't like it. I don't know what the proper alternative, unless they can freaking get X-ray machines, like get TSA X-ray machines. Probably
very expensive.
But those are probably really expensive, unless Gaming Generations buys one and rents it out to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, why not? I mean, that could be
very expensive, right? You buy one? I don't know.
Well, but that's what I mean. They buy one, but then every tournament that uses it rents it from them, right? So there you go. So
yeah, I think that it's both for liability and for PR, but Angron says that they don't think that it sounds like good PR. I agree with that. That's the position that I also hold. But like I said, Alex told me that people have signed up because of this.
Right.
That this sort of instills in them a sense that SCR is taking security seriously and that their kids will be safe there.
When I tweeted out, I was like, don't let this scare you. Try to make it to events still. We can't, let this kind of thing stop us from enjoying. I had a lot of people that were just like, I'm too scared to go to these things anymore. Like, I can't do it anymore. And, and literally for a lot of those people, this is a step that would probably make them feel safer about doing it, about going to these events. So like I said, I don't like it. I totally get why they're doing it. You know what I mean? So I know there was outrage. A lot of people were mad about it on the internets and stuff like that, but I can't even be that mad. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be mad about it, but like part of me can't. I just can't be like, this is a bad idea, because I don't even know if I truly believe it is a bad idea.
Well, I mean, it's not something that's going to significantly improve safety.
Right, yeah. Some people even in the chat are saying, I don't even know how this makes anyone safer, right?
No.
And it's true.
But I think absolutely minimal. Absolutely minimal amount of extra safety. It's security theater. Right? Every time you go through the TSA stuff, you're engaging in security theater. It's meant to make you feel safer. It doesn't actually make you that much safer. A little bit, not nothing, but it doesn't make you that much safer. Routinely, checks are of the system that go through show the failure rate at 90% and above. Right? It's not very effective.
And frankly, all I had to do was go to the airport, give a few thumbprints and a few fingerprints, pay $80 or whatever like that. Now they don't do anything. I just walk through a metal detector because now I have pre-check.
Right.
That wasn't very secure, let me tell you.
Of course.
They didn't do any background checks on me or anything like that. So
so it's just a show, which I think is absurd. Personally, I don't like this, and I don't want more security theater in the FGC. I also know that many people do like it. It's a popular thing. They don't like it because they think it's security theater. They think they like it. Some people like it because it makes them feel safe.
Yeah.
And I feel like part of the reason that it makes them feel safe is that they don't know that it's not actually that effective. It, I think, requires some ignorance there.
Right.
But nevertheless, people do feel safer. Some people anyway. And that's, I don't know how big that market is, but I feel like the market for security theater's got to be in the billions. Right? TSA buying who knows how much stuff constantly, let alone other people. So it's a big thing. FGC is not the only group of people to deal with it. It's something that's going on for a long time. I hope that it doesn't grow. I hope that what you said, maybe implied, is right, which is that SCR is very soon after Jacksonville, and maybe in a year we will have settled down a little bit.
Yeah. I personally think that that's going to be the case, because SCR is going to do it, and everyone's going to be like, this is too crazy, and then the other events might back down from it a little bit, and then nothing will happen at a lot of those events, knock on wood, and we should be okay.
For sure.
So,
I definitely hope so as well. Yeah. If somebody wants to do something horrible, there's a million ways to do it. You can't... it's very difficult anyway to realistically stop everything.
Right, and that's kind of what
you have to accept some risk in life.
That kind of was my point about saying keep going to the events. When people said they couldn't, I was like, that's 100% understandable. Like, I'm not even going to argue with you because absolutely. But the thing about it is, if you're too scared to go to a video game event now, then you have to be scared to have your kids at school.
Right.
You have to be scared to go to a theater. You have to be scared to go to a Waffle House. You have to be scared to go to a church. Yeah. You have to be scared to
concert,
go to club, concerts, everything now. There's no safe place at this point in time. Yeah. And that's the worst thing about it. That's the reality. That's the country we live in right now.
Definitely
is that we just have to accept. It's just like I said last week when the school shooting happened and the reporter was talking to one of the surviving kids. They're like, are you surprised that this happened? And the kid was literally like, why? Like, I think it was Texas. They're like, we're in Texas. Of course it was going to happen at some point in time. They were like, it was going to happen sooner or later. Why should we be surprised? It's happening everywhere right now. And it was like one of the most like just revealing kind of responses. And, shout outs to that kid for having the know-how to even respond with that kind of maturity level, so. Yeah,
no, I mean, as we mentioned last week, the solution here doesn't really come from the ground up in the sense that we have to patrol gun control in some effective way. It's just not practical,
right?
If there's going to be a practical solution, it has to come from the federal government, and I mean, in order to make that happen, there needs to be a groundswell, right? I don't mean to suggest that the people don't matter. It's just more that the rules and regulations have to be consistent across the country. They have to be stricter than they are. And until that kind of stuff occurs, you have to continue to expect, as this kid did, for more people to get killed. Mm-hmm. And if your personal philosophy or if your understanding of the Constitution is one that includes an interpretation of the Second Amendment as being an individual right that sort of guarantees you the right to self-defense with a firearm, you have to accept that includes mass shootings. It's just part of your philosophy. Many people obviously disregard that, right? They don't want to believe that. I think it's important to recognize that is the reality of the situation. Can't be easy to do, can't be easy to reconcile, but I think that's where we are. I hope that we make changes from the government on down. None of us can expect that to happen anytime soon. So we have to do the things that we can, and I get that SCR is doing what it considers what it should be doing. I hope that other tournaments won't go as far, but like I said, I do understand why SCR is doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Again, agreed on all accounts. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, mental health is obviously a part of it, but every country in the world has mental health problems. It's not something that's unique to us. Much the same as with video games or whatever, like violent culture, something that most of the world has, and not many places, at least in sort of wealthier countries, have gun shootings in the kind of way that we do. Obviously, there's something else.
And then there's always if you take away guns, they'll knife everybody. Japan has more video games. Dude, have you watched some animes? Like, those things are violent as can be, right? And they don't have guns. And they have just as much mental health problems. They have even more stress and more pressures in that country. And there's just not people going around stabbing 100 people with knives.
Yeah, and by the way, if there are people who go around stabbing, right? Like, every country has violence.
Yeah.
But if the weapon that's available to you is a knife, you get one person at a time, right? You're not getting 50 people at a time. It's a very different situation.
Right. And also another thing too, just with the whole idea of mental illness. Yeah, it's a mental illness is a problem, but how do you solve that? It's a harder thing to solve.
For sure.
And that's going to take a long, long time. In the time that it takes us to solve that, which could be decades, which could be forever, right? Because who knows what the hell's going on with the human brain half the time.
Yeah. We don't have good health care anyway, right?
Right, exactly. But in that time, just take away guns, and you can still work on mental health.
Right. Yeah. Right. Like, you can be doing both. Look, as we discussed last week, it's not. I don't think it's practical to expect that every gun goes away. There are just too many guns in the U.S. That's sort of a different story than making it so that the sale of new guns is different. You can create buyback programs like people in Australia and other countries did. There are solutions to cut down the number of guns, and there's obvious solutions to cut down the sale of new guns, right? Very clear. So there are things that we could be doing, right? Unless you don't want to. In which case, please understand that your philosophy includes mass murder.
Anyways, we talked about this all last week, so
Indeed we did.
Let's move on to patch notes stuff over here, unless there's anything else that you want to discuss in 5-5 matchup.
All good.
5-5 matchup really is just bringing up whatever kind of hot topic it is that's going on right now. So, but let's talk about patch notes, because a bunch of games have been patched. Well, BlazBlue hasn't been patched yet. The notes are out.
The notes are out.
But Tekken 7 did get its patch. Season 2 is out. Season 2 of Tekken 7 is out, and for the most part, there are definitely a couple of questionable things in there right now, right? And I'm starting with the negatives right away, because they're very minor, right? So Lars has, I don't know if it's a glitch, but he was him, and I think Katarina got a 13-frame launch punish, and Lars has a 12-frame launch punish kind of thing, which just doesn't exist in the game, because that's just the way the game is designed. Nobody has a 12-frame move. Nobody has the ability to punish minus 12 into a launch combo most of the time. It's, they do a lot of things to balance, but I think Katarina had a 13-frame punish now that goes into a launch, which is unusual. Most of them are like 14 frames or slower. And then Lars had one that works off of like a 12-frame. It's like forward 2-1 or something into like Rage Drive or something like that, but you can do like 70-some damage off of punishes where you're not supposed to take that much damage.
Is that intentional?
I don't know, because someone described the Lars one as a glitch.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe they just didn't realize that it worked. However, Harada and Mike Murray have both said, please let us know things that you think are potentially broken. They're like, don't give us things like, please buff this character. Just tell us things that you think are broken, and we will try to fix those things.
Amazing that they put that out there.
That's
so cool.
Yeah, so I guess that they are going to try to fix some of those things. And so, I'm not too worried about those. But outside of that, everybody else's reaction to the patch so far has just been gangbusters. People are like, oh my god, this is so great. Like, oh, they did a great job. This game is crazy. Like, oh, I love this.
I read that people weren't happy about Gigas.
He got like something that was super good nerfed. It was just like his 1-2, which was like supposedly like one of his best things was nerfed.
And got nerfed.
And
he wasn't great, right?
He's like one of the worst characters. He's always been one of the worst characters. So, yeah, it doesn't really make any sense what they're doing with Gigas, but I guess Gigas and Zangief get to go and cry in some beers right now or something like that, dude. So, yeah.
All right.
But
folks are saying, by the way, that the Lars thing is not a launcher, but it's just like from the wall or with rage.
Yeah.
Near the wall with rage.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's not technically a launcher then, I guess. So, but it's just anything that's supposed to be minus 12 or minus 13 isn't supposed to be generally that punishable, right? That's just a rule that's in the game that they just kind of built into the game. I think there is 1 or 2 13-frame launches, but they're like rare situations that you have to do that you get advantage of. So, but I mean, for the most part, a lot of people said that they seem to really like it. I mean, the wall bounce thing is really cool. Lei and Anna has been added in there, and Lei is. Oh man, Lei is one of those.
Did you try him out?
I haven't tried him, but I just know he has like 19 stances or something like that. So I'm just like, God damn it.
Oh yeah, you're already upset about the complexity.
I'm trying to learn all these characters right now, but I mean, I'm gonna keep playing it, and oh god, but it's just.
You should.
It's tough. Like part of me almost feels like I can't.
You can
like because I just don't have the time to play because I want to play Guilty Gear and Unist and BBTag and Street Fighter all at the same time, but. I gotta keep trying. I agree. And it's just tough because like you run into freaking Eddie, and Eddie's the thing about it is he's the character that if you don't study, you die. Right? He's literally designed. He's been doing that since Tekken 3.
Right. Yeah.
People have hated him since then, even though he's not even top tier in this game. Like he's not even considered. He's good, but he's not top tier. But like, if you don't know him, you're just gonna die. You're just gonna die, and so. And then you go spend all this time studying him, and then you're not even going to run into that many Eddies online. It's like, oh, God, freaking, anyways.
Well, salty. I mean, I opened up Tekken, I don't play it very often, but I open it up. Did they change the way that it looks?
The menu is much nicer.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, because I thought it looked great.
Yeah, the menu looks.
I don't remember hating it, but it looks fancier.
Yeah, it is definitely fancier. I was definitely.
That's cool. Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean Eddie won a major, but I mean that was John Ding, and he's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, he's pretty good at the game.
Yeah, John Ding is kind of good. So, I mean, Rangchu was getting top 8s with Bears, right? So, I mean, they're obviously considered a little bit low tier, so.
All right. Anything else to say in particular on the Tekken patch?
Dude, my favorite thing on both of these patches so far is that both of the patches have killed the websites. Like, that makes me happy.
Right.
Like, there's something about that just warms my heart. Yeah, like, Tekken came out, and everyone's like, oh, go check the match. And then, same thing, BBTag came out. Everyone went to the website. And the fact that the sites got murdered, like, makes me happy to know that that's that kind of interest that exists out there. That as soon as the patch comes out, everybody wants to go and read them.
For
and
sure.
To me, there's a little bit of joy in that.
It shows excitement, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at the notes because I was too salty about Eddie when they came out, and I was researching Eddie, and people were like, "Hey, look, these patch notes are out." And I was like, "I'll look at them later," and I was like,
"Bummer." Well, we can do that now.
Yeah. So what did you get?
There's not that much else to talk about. So
sure. What else do you? What else do you got here?
So yeah, the patch notes are accessible now. The site's no longer dead, so you can check it out for yourself. It comes out on the 11th, which is soon. That's next week.
Nice.
September 11th.
5 days.
Yep, that's right. And I would, so I haven't checked out as thoroughly as I'd like to yet, but I did skim through, and I would say it's a pretty hands-off patch.
Really? Because I heard there was a lot of like system
maybe I missed
things.
Stuff.
Yeah.
But so one of the things that I do like is that in the system changes, the reversal action. So you do DP and you get damage afterward. The damage that's following up after that will all deal red health. That is to say, if you do assist DP, right? DP tag, and you get a combo out of it, as some characters can do, that's not going to be as valuable for you anymore because it's recoverable life.
Interesting.
So everybody was sort of wondering how they would deal with DP tag, and this is, I think, part of how they're doing that. And I think that, there are maybe like more direct ways to deal with that, right? Like get rid of attack boxes or whatever people have talked about.
Right.
But this is one way that at least makes it so that it's
I mean, how many characters could combo off of a DP? Because most of the DPs lasted long enough that it was really hard to combo off of that, right?
Tager Wald can. I don't
know
really?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wald.
Because once you call DP and assist, you can't switch to the other guy, can you? Once you've activated it?
I don't know. Not once you've activated it. The call has to be beforehand.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, but I guess a lot of characters can do that. Okay.
I mean, for example, I'm sure more can with Wald 6P because it's just so good for it.
Okay.
He's just very effective at it. So.
Okay.
Probably a bunch. Anyway, there's some other changes. DPs have minimum guaranteed damage, for example, now. Burst is no longer available while blocking from an opponent who's in resonance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Because obviously, once they were in resonance, you couldn't burst when you were getting hit.
Right.
But they're taken away from block. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So.
I mean, there's a lot of things that are written there, dude.
Yeah, I don't think that they're major.
Okay.
Increased red health gauge recovery speed.
Oh, really? As well as extended the effective time of increased skill
gauge recovery.
Fix an issue was also okay.
Yeah. So more healing, I guess, when it comes to switching around, which is cool. So maybe that'll make it so that matches don't feel like sometimes they end instantly, right? Okay. And then when it comes to character changes, I'm gonna be frank. I don't know many of the characters strongly enough to say what each one needed. So when I was going through this, some of them were just, I don't know, what does it mean for Noel's, zero gun Fenrir enlarge the hitbox of the first hit? That sounds like a buff.
Right. Yeah.
I just don't know enough about what was wrong with her to say whether that's a well-targeted buff.
Exactly. I'm just curious about what happened to my character.
Definitely. Yeah. No, that's the first thing I checked out too, of course. Who do you want me to look for?
What about Aurier? Aurier. I actually heard Aurier got buffed.
Yeah, I think that is true. So
assist aerial B to me. Command order changed behavior and increased frame advantage after landing. Which one is aerial B to me?
I don't know.
I hate. Oh, anyways, yeah.
Neutral assist extended the hitbox downward.
Okay.
Back plus assist extended untechable time, raised blowback height.
Oh, okay. Because the back assist, people flipped out of it the instant you came out of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's the Tiger Knee move. Okay. The B version where the guy hops over. Oh, I wonder if they change the way it behaves. I wonder if that ruined it's going to ruin my new trick that I just got with that. So. But what about Blake? Like, I just got to imagine Blake got nerfed or something because people hate her, so. Right? So.
Dash cancel during certain moves increased frame advantage. Normal throw increased frame advantage, making it easier to follow up, so you can combo out of throws better. And then back assist raised blowback height. Extended the effective time and increased the shadow effect.
Okay, because nobody used clones at all. Like, nobody uses those clones at all, so...
I mean, so a good question from Wasik. Is anyone nerfed other than Ruby? As I was going through, it didn't really seem like it.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, obviously I may have missed some stuff, but Ruby... They enlarged some hurt boxes on her. I think that's about it.
What about Gordeau?
I don't think Gord got touched that badly. Let me see.
Interesting.
No,
Olaf says tiny nerfs.
Almost nothing. Clash Assault extended the collision box downwards.
So he just doesn't jump over certain things or something like that?
I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mortal Slide, divest. What is that?
That's, I think...
Is that 2B?
No, I thought that was just where he drops the thing down, isn't it? Oh, she can only do 2 lights in a string now? That's big for Ruby, actually. Because that was really annoying.
Oh, change the maximum number of times this can be used in a single chain to 2.
That is
Speaking
huge.
of standing A and crouching A.
Because the thing is, she used to be able to go A, and all of those were jump cancelable on block. So then she can go to jump C into instant overhead. So you had to block these lows and this high at the same time. It was really annoying. So okay, that's good. Who lost gun loops? Who had gun loops in this game? Anyways, okay. Mortal Slide is the scythe going forward, and then he pulls it towards him. Oh, it's that one. Okay. Well, I'll definitely... Oh, what did they do to Yuzu? Nothing. Yuzu has nothing there.
Yeah, some characters got very light. Fixed an issue where the hits...
Yeah, this is all like, That character's so good, dude. That character's still so good. I'm actually starting to learn some more shenanigans with Jubei. I just need to take it on live and see if it actually works now. They've got to have given some buffs, dude.
Yeah, they did.
Increase the frame advantage of the first and second hit on BB. Okay. Second form Demon Fox follow-up version. Increase frame advantage, reduce knockback. Yeah, that's good.
What's Demon Fox?
I'm not sure which one that is, but I mean, increased frame advantage just sounds good to me. So,
okay.
Black Panther, that's the one where he does the spinny uppercut thing, which I don't understand. Oh, okay. So they
Demon Fox is overhead slash.
Okay. Yeah, because the problem with the Black Panther is like, you can chain all your stuff into Black Panther. You can charge Black Panther. Like, you can freeze it and stuff like that. But the thing is, it has no invincibility. So it was like a terrible frame trap. Like, nobody ever hit buttons in the middle of that and got hit. And then if you charged it and delayed it and hit them with the fully charged version, you did extra damage, but you couldn't combo anymore. So if you hit him with a regular one, you could combo off of it. But if you hit him with a charged one, which sounds like it should give you more reward, you actually didn't get it. So that move, I don't know. That move is weird.
So yeah, a lot of characters didn't really get anything. And I think in particular, the newest characters didn't get much. Like Mai got basically nothing.
Because I don't think that they knew enough about them yet to be able to change them. So I think it's fine.
No, I'm definitely with that. Tager and Wald both got very slight buffs, like more quality of life stuff.
All they needed to do to Jubei to make him a little bit better was just make it so that the freaking 2C actually combos in situations. That move is so goddamn slow. Like, I don't know why that move just never actually hits anything.
Yukiko got buffed a little bit.
I see a lot of stuff,
reduced recovery on stuff, reduced landing recovery on stuff. Changed the maximum number of hit of it can be used in a single chain to 3. Okay, so you can do more in a chain. Yeah, she definitely. So flame level, increase the damage boost rate of each level. That sounds really nice.
Yeah, but I'm definitely what I was saying that triggered like go check Jubei. But
yeah.
I've definitely been finding some newer crazy things off of his little stupid air cat dash
I feel like
thing.
That makes sense.
But the thing is, it all involves needing your partner Yuzu or anybody else to be alive. But one of them on block always drops you behind them. And so some of them, he always lands in front, but one of them, he'll always land behind you. And that is a scary situation because then it's just get ready to guess which way to block. It's really tough. So, yeah.
That sounds great.
So I'm actually really being excited.
That's great.
For this character. So
I'll press Dragon Punch.
We'll have to play again at some point in time because Olaf came over and we played. I know Olaf has been getting better at the game now too.
Yeah, he was complaining to me yesterday about some characters.
Oh yeah, okay. Nerd. But then maybe the 3 of us can play and I'll stream it this time.
That sounds awesome, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you see my mix-up?
I did see your mix-up. I'm surprised they didn't nerf any of that stuff yet. So, because I mean, honestly, the gadget finger, dropping into putting them down, is super good.
So after I put that video out, I put a video on Twitter out about Wald Tager set play. They both can do restands into side switch mix-ups or safe jumps from any combo starter. It's very useful. It's meterless except if you use Tager Sparkle. So anyway, once I put that out, I figured out a sick new thing where if you do Gadget Finger Ender, there's a setup where Wald will start from farther away than than the one that I showed, and then you can do a super jump into jump A, and it's extremely ambiguous. There's basically no way to know which side it's going to end up on. I tried it a bunch of times in a row, and I didn't know which side I was going to end up on all the time. And keep in mind that you can jump cancel that jump A into further pressure if you'd like. So you could do, it's basically like a 5-way mix-up, right? Like it's mix-up, it's cross-up on one side or low on one side or from overhead from the front, low from the front, or just empty jump command grab.
Yeah, just mashing DP at that point in time. Right?
Yeah, well, it's a safe jump unless he goes for the empty jump low.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're basically screwed. Anyway, they slightly buffed both Wald and Tager, but like no big deal. The Tager stuff is Atomic Collider reduced knockback distance, so you can combo out of it better, which is nice. Distance between Tager and the opponent is reduced upon hit, but less frame advantage. Neutral partner skill and travels more, which is nice. Sometimes it was hard to punish stuff with it, punish bursts and stuff. So, it's just like quality of life stuff. Nothing that's major.
Cool.
The team's still really strong.
I mean, it's surprising because King got a lot of good quality of life stuff in Tekken as well, so I was kind of happy about that. He really didn't get any nerfs at all, so I was happy.
So they, did some very slight stuff to Jin, like really no big deal at all. It seems to me like it's a pretty hands-off patch compared to maybe what I was concerned about, because I used to play Blaze Blue, and I know that game changed drastically between versions.
But I mean that's full versions though. That could still happen when we come out with,
fair enough.
BBTag extend, right?
For sure. So, no, you're right. You're right. But I've heard about what happens in gear. People aren't happy about it. So I was a little concerned that there was going to be that kind of thing that came in this game, and I don't think that there was. So I'm happy that it was as hands-off as it is. I'm happy that they did buff characters who seemed like they needed it. I'm happy that they didn't over-nerf or even really nerf that much, or if at all, some of the top-tier characters, just to give us time to figure it out. So I really like it. I'm very happy with the patch.
Yeah,
very happy with the patch.
Yeah, well, I mean, coming out next week, I can't wait to play some of it. So,
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Haha. That setup's so stupid.
Which one?
No, it's the Tager Wald Vortex. It's basically any hit out of it. So any hit leads into it, but then any hit leads back into it.
Right.
And it's just a vortex. So, obviously there's burst. So if you're playing against a Wald Tager who's doing that stuff, maybe you want to hang on to your partner meter and not spend it on assists and stuff. Which makes it easier for them to get in.
Shoot.
So all I'm saying is, may Hulk Hagar live forever.
Okay. Well, we want to get into some game news.
Yeah. What else is going on?
All right. So let's see here.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go back and try new Yukiko now, which was the first zoning team that I tried learning, and I just didn't think that Yukiko could keep it up. So now I want to go back, and they've both been buffed, and Yukiko more substantially. So I'll definitely give that a look again.
Okay, so there was a Dragon Ball FighterZ Australian online Dragon Radar event that took place, and that one was won by Zed with Piccolo, Tien, Goku Black, so he'll be flown out to the Saga event of his choice.
Oh, wow.
So second place was Kanga Dailo, third place was Salty Pete, and fourth place was VSDS Somniac.
Oh,
so
nice.
Just wanted to mention
Okay.
that, just so that we know that that was there as well. Some other event information here. So at SoCal Regionals, which we talked about pretty extensively, there will be a Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown side tournament.
Cool.
So if you're interested in Virtua Fighter, I mean, I know there's a lot of SoCal Virtua Fighter players, in there. So you see, even Virtua Fighter, not a dead fighting game. So nope, still alive. People are still playing that game here. Interesting news that Larry Shimblanca Dixon actually said, I can finally talk about this, and said there will be a final round 2019.
Good.
We don't know anything about it. We don't know the scope or scale or whatever like that, but I'm glad to see that, and I would really love it if he brought it back to what final round originally was.
Okay.
Back to the old venue. Let's not worry about making it the CPT opener or whatever, stuff like that. Let's just bring final round back to how it was, not the big giant ballroom kind of thing, or the big convention center kind of thing. I think that would be kind of cool. So just to kind of dial it back to what it used to be,
Yeah, certainly that region needs a big tournament, so I'm happy to see that it's going to be there. Yeah, as Wasik says, look, forever we've said this in the FGC. I'm sure like every scene is like this. If you announce that you're retiring, you're not retiring.
Yeah. And honestly, we talked about it, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago, that we were just talking about how, the retiring age for a fighting game player, we don't even know what the limit is at this point in time, right?
Of course.
Sako's winning majors and stuff like that, you know, so we could definitely have people potentially winning majors at 50 years old and stuff like that.
Well, I think he's talking about Larry retiring.
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Okay,
Yeah.
And people can organize tournaments until they're a million. I'm just saying, like, if you announce that you're going to retire, you're not retiring. The people who retire are the people who slowly fade away, and they don't tell anybody about it because they've lost interest, right? I think that's it.
Exactly. So, let's see here. Also, so our Street Fighter is sponsoring players to compete at Canada Cup 2018. One of the players that won the poll, I guess, couldn't make it, and so it fell down off of that.
I think received a sponsorship and
that's right.
Or was
they were
pulled out.
unsponsored.
Yeah, it was Cool Kid.
That's right. Yeah.
And he pulled out. I don't think he has a sponsor, but he's like maybe angling for one.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
Right.
The other one's Marine.
But Marine made it, and then the person who took over Cool Kid's spot was Mono.
Right.
Mono PR. But of course, it's not finalized that you got to go buy their shirts, and then you can do that. So definitely check that information out on Reddit r/r/Street Fighter to find the links to support the T-shirts. We've got a Laura T-shirt for Maureen, obviously, and a Fang T-shirt for Mono, obviously. And it would be awesome to see those guys there, So let's see if we can support them and get them out to that event.
I agree. I think that's awesome.
Game news.
Okay.
Arc System Works is going to reveal 2 more characters for Kill la Kill the game at Tokyo Game Show. We talked about we were talking about this, so I can kill this out here. But Pullum Perna, Volcano Rosso, and a bunch of changes came out for EX Layer.
Oh yeah, there was a patch for that as well?
The free patch that came out to add 2 new characters and make a bunch of changes where they wanted to rebalance the Gogi decks or something like that. I don't know the details of that one, so I haven't been keeping up with fighting EX Layer, unfortunately.
Same.
So. A new Dissidia Final Fantasy NT character is going to be revealed on the 11th. So same day that the patch for BBTag is coming out, they're going to reveal a brand new character.
Do you think it's Chocobo?
Chocobo? I hope it's some...
What about Cactid?
Cactuar?
Is it Cactuar?
It's Cactuar.
Is it Cactid something? Maybe not.
I don't think so.
All right. Yeah, Cactuar.
Well, I mean...
like running cactus?
That's Cactuar now. So they used obviously there was different names like Tonberries used to be called pugs in America, but now they're all Tonberries everywhere because that was just translation choices and stuff, and so now they have official names and stuff like that. But it is Cactuar. It's Cactuar. Tonberry as a character would actually be really kind of funny. But in terms of Soul Calibur 6, at the Melbourne Esports Open, somehow Cervantes and Raphael were available to be selected or something like that, and so...
This is the dumbest thing. It's so dumb. So the person who was running that event wouldn't let people show off the character creation aspect of things, because that's secret. You want to take video of Cervantes and Raphael? Yeah, okay.
2 characters who were unannounced. Sorry, Melbourne. But yeah, so I guess in some indirect way, Cervantes and Raphael have been announced.
Yeah, well, they confirmed it, because what are you going to do?
Yeah,
but
someone's getting fired.
That is so weird. It's sloppy and weird. I don't know if somebody got fired for that, but if they did, and somebody got in big trouble, minimum.
Well, okay, to be fair, in Japan, it's really hard to get fired in Japan.
Wasn't it Melbourne?
Right, but I don't know. Maybe it's from
Japan.
Maybe it's somebody from Japan or something like that. So, also, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate will have demo events at Best Buy locations between September 8th and through October 7th. So at various locations, you can go and play Smash Bros. Ultimate at Best Buy.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But, I mean, dude, last time I walked into a Best Buy, it's just like, it's so weird walking. Because I used to go to Best Buy all the time. It was like the store to go to buy my games and move. And now it's just like, every time I go into it, it's like a dead zone, I swear.
It's a place where old people go to try out electronics before buying it online.
Yeah, pretty much. So, and then also, the SNK website is starting to count down to a new game announcement on September 10th. There's a countdown clock, and on it says, a new dawn rises or something like that. So most people seem to be thinking that it might be a new Samurai Showdown, which would be interesting because that's another one of those games that kind of like Darkstalkers that you can get horribly wrong, which they have done many times already for Samurai Showdown. But if they could do it right in a 3D environment, more power to them. If they made it in a 2D environment, even more power to them. If they did it like Guilty Gear,
that would be remarkable. Don't get your hopes up, James.
Don't want to get our hopes up. Some people have talked about maybe it being Garo 2.
What I read was that the font...
It's not the same.
Is it not the same?
No, not even close. Someone said that, and I looked at it, and I was like, it's not the same. And then some font expert came in there like, these two are not even remotely the same font.
Okay. That's funny.
But I mean,
is it for sure that it's a fighting game?
No, it's nobody.
Could be anything.
Yeah, it could be a new Metal Slug game. Could be a new Metal Slug game. Could be a new Bust a Move game. You know.
Wow. That'd be a curveball. Yeah.
Dude, you don't understand. Whenever I worked at the UCLA arcade and I hit the master switch that turned everything on, the first thing you would hear is ding, 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 like super high volume from the Neo Geo machines, and the attract mode for Bust a Move would start up and just boom, 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 like really loud. So that stuff is like burned into my head.
I can tell, yeah.
Oh man, gosh.
That's funny. Metal Slug is a gorgeous game historically. I don't know how well it would do in modern times.
Like if they changed it into a 3D
kind
of thing.
I don't like right, yeah, I feel like that they wouldn't. I just don't know how well it would sell if it was olden style, right? If it was just 2D
sprites
scroller,
and stuff like that. Unless it was on the Switch, then it would sell really well because 2D stuff kind of lives there. So
yeah, Cuphead did do well. I think Cuphead is quite an unusual case. It's such a unique style.
That game was amazing, dude. So. Did they make a 3D Metal Slug? I don't know. I mean, they made 3D Samurai Showdowns, which were not great. So let's just put it that way. So, okay. Also, Slice, Dice, and Rice.
Oh yeah, you've been talking about this.
Which is a terrible name for the game.
Okay.
I hate it.
Okay.
It sounds racist. It sounds racist. But in any case. It's a game that's coming to the North American Switch eShop in September. I think it's out already on Steam and maybe another platform like PS4 or something like that, but it's coming out on the Switch. But I did get a chance to play it on Arc Live, and I actually really liked it. I actually really liked the game because it felt like the first true like simplified fighting game that wasn't that because you like footsies and senior footsies and dive kick and fantasy strike and all these things like that, but like this felt like it felt good in the way that it really like there's instant air dashing in this game and like you have different kinds of button attacks and stuff like that, but the thing about it is you have a parry and every move can be canceled into a parry, so you swing parry. So anytime you swing, and even when you whiff, if someone tries to whiff punish you, you can parry it, right? But then everybody also has a special attack that's unparryable. So if you just go at them with that, you can kill them, but then you can attack and parry. You can attack and cancel it into a parry and force them into a parry and then like punish them and stuff. And it was just really just a one-touch kill game. It's a one-touch. There is no block. There's just the parrying. But so what happens is because of the heightened tension, because of the fact that there's no blocking, you end up with this really footsie heavy game. Sure. You know what I mean? You just stay out of ranges, and there's backdashes have invincibility and stuff like that. And I don't know. It was just really interesting that when I was playing it, I was like feeling fighting game stuff, but in a simplified format. And it's a 4-button game, and on the Switch, like I'll take a Joy-Con, you take a Joy-Con, we can just sit there and play Slice, Dice, and Rice for like a little bit. And I don't know. I thought it was really fun. I would almost like to see a kind of like it show up at like Anime Evo, you know what I mean? Because like their characters had different powers and stuff like that. It was really interesting. Yeah. I don't know.
That does sound cool.
I was surprised at how much I was enjoying that game, to be honest with you. So yeah, there you go. The Street Fighter V Season 4 leaks. I mean, they just sound kind of incredulous, and I don't even really know if I just want to. I don't even want to like. Spend any time on it, to be honest.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think they mostly sound not believable or not good ideas.
Mm-hmm. I would like them to make a lot of system changes for 4.
I want stuff.
I want to see significant changes in 4 because I want to see like
Season 4.
In Season 4, basically in like Alpha 1 to Alpha 2 style. Like it's time.
Okay.
It's time.
Significant changes.
It's time that the game takes it. However, the changes that I read in those leaks. Not those changes.
Not those changes. I'm with you on that one.
Not those changes.
I don't really want major changes. I like it. Not those changes either.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, we've had 3 seasons of this style of play now. Yeah. And I feel like it's time to extend it a little bit further. Now, I'm not saying go from Alpha 2 to Alpha 3. Well, not that. More like maybe 3 to Second Impact or Second Impact to Third Strike.
But here's what I don't like about it. That idea. Is that you can go back and play Alpha 1, you can go back and play Alpha 2, and you can go back and play Alpha 3. If they change Street Fighter 5, this Street Fighter 5 is gone forever. So if they want to come out with like Street Fighter 5, different discs, call it something different, it's a new version. I don't know that I need that either, but at least do that and not just update the game.
They might do the same thing that they did with Ultra Street Fighter 4, is that the last version that comes out just has all the seasons available in it. That could be. You know what I mean? Because Street Fighter 4 had the same problem. We can't play the old versions anymore, but we have the discs, right? Sure. But they kind of threw that a bone in the Ultra Street Fighter 4 with the Edition Select. So
that's true.
If they have a Season Select at some point in time, hell, maybe that's what they do in Season 4. Just add a Season Select. So, if a character sucks, you can go pick the good version of them
Everybody
instead.
Everybody just goes plays Season 1 Mika.
And Season 1 Zangief and stuff like that. So, but, yeah. But I would like to see Season 4 add some new stuff. I mean, I have wild ideas, and I know a lot of people don't like them, but I'm gonna do a whole I'm gonna do a whole Unchenzord where I talk about those kind of things. So, and I know a lot of people are gonna dislike the ideas, but I will go into detail why proximity normals are important. So,
as Wasmid has been trying to get us to talk about, I was planning to. The Injustice 2 Intercontinental Championship has been announced. This is going to be... Yeah, they didn't really publicize it all that well. So it's going to be tournament series... tournaments, maybe more accurately, in Australia, the Middle East, EU, and EU West. Because remember how we were talking about how there was European events and the Middle Eastern players wanted to join it because they didn't have anything for themselves. Well, now they do have something for themselves. Australian players, which exists for NRS games, they also wanted something, but they couldn't even do EU, right? You can't do that. So now they have something as well. So what's going to happen is that the top two placers, so these are online, the top two placers of their respective regional qualifiers will move on. Then those top 8 contenders will fly out to Vienna, Austria, and compete for one spot in the IPS Grand Finals. Oh,
so this is all tied into the IPS.
This is all tied into the IPS Grand Finals.
Sick. Okay.
And that will be very soon. Let me get the date. I think it's next month. October 7th is going to be the finals for this. Yeah, so it's soon. It's soon. Now, they have not, until now, they hadn't talked about what their plans were really. Like, there's a lot of players who are just in the dark on upcoming events, and that's not good for anybody. So I'm really glad that they've announced this. But I'm particularly happy that they spread it out to Middle East and Australia. It would be, obviously, as soon as this was announced, people in other parts of the world were like, what about us?
Right.
So players in Africa were like, hey, our scene in, I think somebody's from Zambia, like, we have good players, give us a chance,
Right.
Hopefully at some point, every region gets a thing. I'm at least happy that they're expanding it now because they're recognizing that, hey, there are more players. We do need to do more. Hopefully in the future they do that for everybody else. But I think this is a good step.
Okay. Cool. Good stuff. Yeah. Like for MK11, maybe they'll expand it to the other ones. So yeah, there you go.
Anything else going on?
That's all I have for stuff.
Let's try this then.
Oh, that's gross. You're licking the chocolate.
Well, what do you do?
I mean, I chew it like that. Although they actually did give you one block to dip in your hot chocolate, so you can kind of melt it, add more chocolate, and eat it while it was like kind of melting.
That sounds awesome.
This
is really good.
Is it really good? Okay, cool.
It's a little coffee-ish. Do you want some?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think that was one of the ones they gave me.
Nice.
It had the coffee flavor to it, but you know me, I'm not a big coffee person. So
fair enough.
Yeah. So
it's quite good. You talking about Best Buy earlier reminds me of earlier today. So I went in and I had to get a new Surface. I had a Surface Pro 4, which is what I carry around, this little guy here. But the battery had become expanded. I forget the term that they used. Engorged? Something weird.
That sounds gross.
In any case, it was expanding and putting pressure on the screen, causing cracking, discoloration. Couldn't hold a charge. Anyway, it's still under warranty, so I brought it in. And they replaced it in 15 minutes. Very fast, super easy. I was actually really impressed with the service.
So you just have a brand new
I got a brand new Surface now. I just walked out of that place with a brand new Surface.
Was it the same model?
Same model.
And did they transfer all your stuff to it?
No, but I had everything backed up. I mean, they would have if I had asked them to.
Okay.
I have everything backed up in a million places, so it's fine. Anyway, very nice of them. The reason that the Best Buy comment reminds me of it is that I was the youngest person in there by probably 3 decades.
Wait, in Best Buy?
In the Microsoft store.
Oh, in the Microsoft store.
I mean, the people working there are whatever age, right?
Yeah. But customers?
The customers?
Huh.
I was the only dude in there without white hair.
That's interesting. Yeah. How does that work?
I don't know.
I mean, is it just because I just don't picture people with white hair going into a Microsoft store. You know what I mean? Like
one guy was there getting his tablet looked at. This conversation happened. So when I want to turn it off, I go here, and then I go here. That is correct.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
And then the tech was like, and I recommend turning it off at least once every couple of weeks. And the guy was like, you got it. Or it was actually some kind of old folksy saying. I forget what it was. But it was like an old person would say.
Sure thing, sonny boy.
It was really something like that. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Home Up is saying that the Xbox adaptive controller is out. You know, it was that big,
cool.
the crazy thing with the super. Even the box is like really convenient, but it like you can really change it up so that people with disabilities can play very easily and stuff like that. So that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like for most things, you don't really have to turn them off that much, but for Windows, yes.
So the issue with mine was that I'd basically leave my Surface plugged in whenever I'm home. It's just always plugged in. And they said not to do that.
Really?
Yeah. They said that it's not made to do that, so unplug it at night maybe.
Weird.
That's what I thought too.
That seems a little weird.
Back in the day, you had to be concerned about electronics being plugged in constantly and losing charge if you did that. But I feel like that's mostly been solved.
Dude, my iPad has been plugged in to in my room for probably like months without having me turned it off or on, and it's still chugging. So
I didn't know about the Switch, or maybe if that's common with this kind of battery. I don't know. But my other stuff I basically have constantly plugged in, and it's been fine. Is it lithium batteries specifically? If so, duly noted.
Okay, I don't know. Huh. Oh well. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, that's the problem.
Okay. Well,
we're going to DreamHack Montreal this weekend.
That is correct.
We will be there to commentate Street Fighter V. It's going to be packed, by the way. It's going to be a stacked tournament, so I highly recommend checking it out if you are interested in Street Fighter.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of good people over there. So, but
people
it is a premiere event.
Yes.
Yeah, and then shout out to Shoegazer Jimmy for the subscription, 7 months in a row. Thank you very much, sir. But it should be exciting. Should be a lot of fun. It's going to only be on Saturday and Sunday, so keep that in mind. So it's
Street Fighter is.
Yeah, Street Fighter is. It's not starting on Friday. Yeah. So, but should be a lot of fun. So we're going to be heading to Canada. Weekend after that, of course, will be SCR, and so that'll be another fun event. So outside of course, unscrewing your joysticks and stuff like that. But you know, SCR always has a lot of good stuff going there. So you know, let's see how that goes.
I appreciate the advice. Modern batteries work best kept between 20% and 80% charge. Duly noted.
That's so weird. Okay.
I had no idea. Thank you to Silvex.
Interesting.
Currently, I am at 32%.
So you're right there. Time to charge it for just a little bit.
Just a bit.
Yep. That's weird. Okay.
Anyway, I guess that's about it.
Okay.
I also wanted to mention this. We spoke briefly about Mortal Kombat. A terrible video game that was made one time was called Mortal Kombat Armageddon.
Right.
Terrible. However, Ketchup and Mustard did a stream of them playing MK Armageddon, and it is hilarious. So,
which one was that? Was that 7 or?
I think it was 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mustard basically hates the game and doesn't care about it. Right? But he plays a character called Meat, and Meat has command grab loops where if you are by the wall, you can't. It's a high command grab, but you can't duck it on your way up. So when he does it, he gets to grab you again before you can escape it, so it's an infinite. Right?
Oh, okay.
Everybody has infinites anyway, or at least their characters do. But that's inescapable. There are breakers for combos, but not for command grab loops. So it's an actual infinite. And basically, he thinks it's a dumb game. But Ketchup has been training up because he lost last time to Mustard, right? So Ketchup was like, "All right, I'm going to learn this game, and I'm going to beat you." So he learned like 5 or 6 characters and like actual combos and like real stuff, you know. And then at the beginning of the stream, he shows Mustard a combo for Meat because Mustard didn't even know that. So Mustard, like, that's the amount of care that Mustard has for it.
Right. And by the way, you still have Zoidberg just gave us 200 bits. Woo!
So anyway, it's a match between one guy who really cares and one guy who doesn't care at all.
Right.
And is kicking the other dude's ass. And it's hilarious. And since they're twins, they get to razz each other in a way that I feel like I wouldn't be comfortable doing. Like, maybe with my brothers, right? I would but you know, like I would know when not to dig in too hard, right? Because it's been like 30 years of practice. Whereas with somebody who's relatively new, I wouldn't know necessarily like what's the line. I, you know, feel it out a little bit, but they know the line. So Mustard is like going pretty deep sometimes.
Dang.
It's like really like.
Okay. So he was doing a bunch of meaty combos then, right?
He was definitely doing meaty combos, and they were using that line as well. It was very funny. Anyway, I just wanted to plug that because I thought it was hilarious. Their stream and YouTube channels are some very unwieldy names, but if you search for ketchup and mustard, it's something like that.
Right. Meat.
Very funny. Yeah, the character's name is Meat.
I was definitely not as cool as Tofu, right?
Tofu.
Tofu from Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2, I should say. I wonder if the remake is going to have Tofu. They already confirmed Tofu was in it, I think. So, yeah.
PNDK ampersand M. That sounds right. It's something.
PND ketchup and mustard or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. All right.
Okay. Oh, that's funny. You describing MK Armageddon made me think of something else.
God, that game was so bad. Okay, so
oh no, that's what it was. There's a glitch. There's these things where you could basically like kill yourself on the fatality. They're like these suicides or something like that. But
Harakiri.
Yeah, or something like that. But then there was something else that you could do, and there was like some crazy kind of setup on there. But then there's this whole video of a glitch where you could perform a fatality on someone after performing a Harikiri or whatever like that. And so what ends up happening is what you do to the opponent, what's supposed to happen to the other character happens to your character. So like you see them and they like go up and they try to like pop their head and your head explodes instead, or like they'll come there and like rip off an arm and your arm flies off instead and stuff like that. Like they do it with like every fatality, and I sat there and watched it. It's the funniest damn thing I'd ever seen, dude. I watched that forever, dude. It was so goddamn funny, dude. Oh my god.
There was this one sequence where Ketchup was playing this character who throws knives super fast, like would not fly in an actual good fighting game. And it's a 3D thing, so you're walking around, and in the middle of the stage is a big pillar.
Okay.
Whatever, it's just right there. So Mustard hides behind it so that Ketchup can't throw knives at him, and then he does Meat's taunt, which gives him life back. So he pulls, I can't tell if he pulls his eyeball out or he pulls his tongue out and it goes, psh, and he gets health back. So this character's so abusive. So he just goes behind the
column. He went behind the pillar and started beating his meat.
Yes, exactly. And they're making that same joke the whole time. And he's just getting life back. Oh, man. Ketchup was so mad.
Oh, my God.
I would definitely play Meat.
It sounds like you would play Meat.
Well, it just seems like a perfect fit, right? Command grab loop character, pulls his own face out to get health back, abusive, has an infinite. I think that sounds like a David character. All right, well, is that it for tonight?
Yeah, I just made a beating his meat joke, so I think we're done with that at this point.
All right, cool. Again, we're going to be at Montreal DreamHack. Oh, I will try bagels. I've heard that the bagels in Montreal.
In Montreal?
When I, earlier this year, was talking about the best bagels I have had by city, and I said New York was number one, and every other place I've ever tried is tied for second place, or worse. People from Montreal specifically said, you got to try Montreal bagels. And I said, if I'm ever there, I'll try them. And I'm going to be there. So I will try them.
So we're going to try that. Some poutine as well, right? I've had poutine before.
I'm not a big poutine guy.
Okay. I guess we're done for the day then?
The story about my sideburns is at the beginning of this archive.
That is right. So
they'll be gone next week.
But you'll have them at DreamHack.
I will have them at DreamHack. Also, I showed my mom a picture, and she misses them because it's, when I was 15 through 21, so for her it's like nostalgic. She was like, I hope you don't get rid of them. And I was like, oh, sorry. They're going to be gone.
All right, so enjoy them for now. So
can you imagine having a kid who you wish your like highlight of him was when he had long mutton chop sideburns? What a douche.
Oh, man.